Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. Pirates, the traveler check-in system, refusing the invitation of the redhead at start. Chapter 81. A tall woman with grass-green wavy hair, golden pupils, and a thick chain wrapped around her body. Even in a hot place like the desert, she wears a thick orange-yellow long coat and has a pirate logo on her teeth. The man walked behind Lin Mo. I sense the aura of someone different from this town. Lin Mo turned his head and glanced. Just looking at the backs of the two men, he recognized their identities. It's Monet the Snow Girl and Buffalo the Turner. Both of them belong to the Don Quixote family and were subordinates of Doflamingo. Doflamingo, nicknamed Tien Yasha, was born in Tianlong. He is a guy who takes both black and white, and does whatever it takes to achieve his goals. Judging from the current point of time, Doflamingo should have just replaced Dressrosa as the king not long ago. But his subordinates appeared in Alabasta. Obviously, they are here for the devil fruit that will be auctioned off tonight. It actually made Doflamingo stare at him. It seems that the devil fruit in this auction has a lot of background. Little devil, you have been staring at this place for so long, do you want to buy snake wine? At this moment, the owner of the wine cellar suddenly spoke, breaking Lin Mo's thoughts. Lin Mo came back to his senses, and his eyes fell on the big wine vat in front of him again. After thinking for a while, he asked, "How much?" "A glass of 2 Baileys, a bottle of 20 Baileys. This snake wine is a good thing. It's a great tonic. Do you want to buy some back for your adults to drink?" The wine cellar owner asked with a smile. Lin Mo directly took out 2 Baileys. "Have a drink first." The liquor vendor owner thought he was going to buy a bottle, but the smile on his face receded a little, so he took out a small paper cup, scooped half a spoonful of snake wine from the big wine jar, poured it into the paper cup, and handed it to Lin Mo. Lin Mo drank it directly in front of the liquor cellar boss. "Huh, this wine is too sweet for a child like you, you can't drink it." Lin Mo had already finished his drink before the wine cellar could stop him. "This wine is a bit bitter and has a strong fishy smell. It is the worst wine he has ever drank in Pirate World. Look, I told you a long time ago that you can't drink." The wine dealer saw Lin Mo's expression and knew that this kid must not be used to drinking. When Lin Mo was about to leave speechlessly, not far away, the red hair came towards him with 2 golden paper tickets, smiling. After being silent for a moment, Lin Mo turned his head to look at the liquor cellar boss, took out 20 Baileys, and said with a chuckle, "Give me a bottle." Good things are of course meant to be shared. So, Lin Mo bought a bottle of snake wine and gave it to the redhead. The red hair accepted it bluntly, and then gave Lin Mo one of the 2 auction tickets he just got. I also inquired about the location of the auction. It will only start at night. Before it starts, we can walk around this town first, the red-haired said with a smile. But Lin Mo lost his mind and continued to spin his mind, "Turn it yourself." "Huh, then where are you going?" "Nap, red hair." The red-haired laughed loudly and said, "Ha ha ha, I can't imagine that you still have the habit of taking a nap in the afternoon." Lin Mo said speechlessly, "No. Yes, of course, but you can't take a nap for too long, it's not good for your health." "I know. Okay, then you go, I will find you later." "Okay." Lin Mo wished that the red hair would stay away from him. After speaking, he found a direction by himself and withdrew. On the other hand, the redhead curled his mouth, came to a brick house, leaned his back against the wall, took out a phone bug from his pocket, and dialed a number. Soon, the phone bug got through. Beckman's voice came from it. "Is it the boss?" The red-haired man curled his lips slightly and said, "Beckman, I'm in Yuba now, guess who I saw just now?" Beckman was silent for a moment, and asked, "Navy or pirate?" "Navy." "Navy." Beckman asked in surprise, "Why did the Navy appear in Yuba?" "Who knows, maybe it has something to do with the devil fruit," the red hair said while rubbing his chin. "Devil fruit? Is someone reselling it in Yuba? Well, there's an auction." Beckman thought for a while, then asked again, "Who is gone in the Navy?" "Sakaski." "What?" Beckman frowned. "It's actually a Kainu. That guy is difficult to deal with. Is it okay for you to be there alone?" "It's okay. Lin Mo is here too. Let me tell you, Lin Mo is really interesting." Afterwards, the redhead turned on the chatterbox mode. Beckman listened to the phone bug for a while, and wanted to hang up the phone, but he was not sure if the red-haired guy would suddenly think of something serious to say, so he had to listen to the red-haired chatter until he hung up the phone on his own initiative. Inside the cabin of the Red Hair Pirates, Bucky walked in after eating some meat. Seeing Beckman's headache, he asked strangely, "Beckman, what's the matter? Was it the boss's call just now?" Beckman nodded. Bakaloo laughed and asked, "Has the boss found Linmo Kid?" "Found it." Beckman lit a cigarette, took a puff, and continued, "They are now in a place called Yuba, and Akainu is also there." "Huh, Red Dog, Navy." Bucky's meat-eating movements froze for a moment. "Can the boss handle it?" "It's definitely okay to get out of the body. I'm afraid that guy is free to meddle in his own business." After Lin Mo separated from Hongfa, he found a shaded tree under a big tree, propped up his recliner, lay down comfortably, and took a nap. Before I slept for a long time, not far away, the casual navy distributed in Yuba suddenly gathered. The leader was a burly man wearing a dark red suit, a rose corsage on his left chest, black leather gloves on his hands, a navy cap on his head, and an admiral's coat behind him. He is as famous as Aokiji, one of the 3 Navy generals, Akainu Sakazuki, who is capable of magma fruit. Compared with Aokiji's laziness, this is a man who pursues complete justice, has an upright personality, uses cruel methods without showing any mercy, and never allows a trace of evil to exist. All pirates are evil in Akainu's eyes. He is also a ruthless man who can take his colleagues and ordinary people as targets and annihilate them indifferently in order to complete his mission. In short, Akainu is a particularly troublesome person. Because once he sets his sights on someone, he will keep chasing and hitting him. When Lin Mo opened his eyes and found that the person who was talking to a group of plainclothes Navy not far away was a red dog, he turned over again and continued to sleep. Although he didn't know whether the purpose of Akainu's coming to Yuba was also for the devil fruit, but whatever, as long as he didn't bother him. Time passed minute by minute. The red hair saw that the time was almost up, and with the help of knowledge, he found Lin Mo who had woken up early and was drinking in a small wine shop. "You kid really drank the wine like water." The red hair unceremoniously picked up a small pot of rice wine piled up on the small wine table where Lin Mo was sitting, finished it in one gulp, and said cheerfully, "Sure enough, the wine still needs to be sipped to be refreshing, ha ha ha." Lin Mo glanced at him speechlessly, and saw that the bottle of wine given to him during the day was revealed by the red hair in his pocket, and it was still full. "Doesn't this guy drink as much as he can? Why haven't you moved yet?" Seeing Lin Mo looking at the wine stuffed into his pocket, the red hair couldn't help laughing. "I plan to drink this wine with Beckman and the others when I go back, ha ha ha." "Lin Mo, if you really want to give them a drink, you should be beaten." The redhead didn't know what was going on in Lin Mo's mind, so he said directly, "It's almost time, let's go." Ha ha ha. Lin Mo drank the last sip of wine, and after paying the bill, he and Hongfa left the small wine shop, and went directly to a seemingly simple small hotel where the auction was held. This is a rather dilapidated 2-story hotel. In the hotel, only a plainly dressed half-century-old man at the front desk was looking at the store. In fact, Lin Mo and Hongfa had already sensed that there were many people behind a small red wooden door with peeling paint behind the front desk. "You two, are you staying at the hotel?" the half-century-old man asked tremblingly. The redhead curled his mouth slightly and placed the admission tickets that he forcibly bought from those 2 unlucky fools during the day in front of the dilapidated bar of the hotel. Lin Mo also put the admission ticket given to him by Hongfa on the bar counter. The old man casually glanced at the admission ticket, then turned around and opened the small red door with peeling paint, and continued, "You two, please come in." "Oh, it's really mysterious enough." The red-haired man walked ahead with the corners of his mouth curled up. Lin Mo followed behind. Under the leadership of the old man, the two walked into a small room that seemed to be only about 20 square meters. There was a table fixed on the ground in the middle of the room. The old man kicked the mechanism at the corner of the table, and the whole small round table automatically rotated and moved aside, revealing an underground entrance 2 meters long and wide. "Lin Mo, it really is an underground auction, it's really underground. Hey, there is actually a mechanism, so powerful." Compared with Lin Mo's speechlessness, the red hair was very excited. "2. The auction will start soon, please." The old man made a gesture of "please go down." Hongfa and Lin Mo went down one after another. After passing through a 500-meter-long passage, what came into view was a wide space of more than square meters, which was manually dug. There are many fire frames with burning flames standing around for lighting. Right in front of the entrance is a display stand that takes up 1/3 of the entire space, and in front of the display stand is a row of 10 single soft sofas, a total of 10 rows of audience seats. At this time, there were already many people sitting in the auditorium. Linmo and Hongfa randomly found 2 seats at the back of the row and sat down. Before waiting for the auction to start, Linmo looked around casually, and at a glance, he saw Monet the Snow Maiden and Buffalo who were sitting in the front row. Sure enough, they came for the devil fruit. Why, who did you see? The red hair followed Linmo's line of sight, looked at Monet and Buffalo in the front row, touched his chin and thought, who are those two? Do you know them? Linmo shook his head. I don't know. I don't know you, but you still look at her. The red hair couldn't help laughing. Ha ha ha, you must have fallen in love with that green-haired woman, right? Although you can't see the front face, it's the back view. She should also be a beautiful little beauty. That's fine, Linmo, I didn't expect you to be good at such a young age. Linmo glanced at him speechlessly. At this time, several people came in at the entrance of the underground auction. It's a Kainu and some navy in casual clothes. Linmo and Hongfa could tell at a glance. The red dog and his party sat down in the row of seats near the entrance behind where Linmo and Hongfa were sitting. Not long after sitting down, he noticed Hongfa and Linmo. Because of the dim light and the side profile, Akainu couldn't fully see the red-haired face, but the outline looked familiar. Admiral, have you found any suspicious person? The navy sitting next to Akainu asked in a low voice. Akainu stared at the red hair seriously, and said, does that man in the straw hat look like the red-haired Shanks? Red-haired Shanks. The navy sitting next to Akainu was stunned, and immediately looked in the direction Akainu was looking at. When he saw that the straw hat worn by the red-haired dog was different from the one on the previous arrest warrant, he stopped. Shaking his head, he said, General, that guy should not be Shanks the red hair. The straw hat that the red hair wears is the hat worn by Gordy Roger during his lifetime. It is very important to the red hair and will not be thrown away casually. But the straw hat that man is wearing is a hat made by the natives of Alabasta. We have seen many people wear it on the way here, and it is different from the red-haired straw hat. Really, Akainu didn't pay attention to the hats worn by the people here, and looked away from the red-haired body. Red Dog looked over just now, and of course Red Hair and Linmo could feel it. Linmo was fine, anyway, Chiquan didn't know him at all. It was red-haired, and when the Red Dog looked away, he breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, that guy didn't recognize me. Linmo, do you know who is that big guy sitting on the side in the row behind us? Linmo, I know, the red hair said softly. He is the Admiral of the Navy, Akainu Sakaski, a very strong person. If he is entangled, it will be quite troublesome. Linmo glanced at the red hair again speechlessly. You are the future 4 emperors. Even if you were fighting against Akainu 10 years ago, would you be afraid? However, it is true that it is troublesome. Anyway, before that guy finds out, let's keep a low profile. The red-haired whispered. Linmo said calmly, you just need to shut up. The red hair froze for a moment, couldn't help covering his mouth, and laughed. Linmo was quite speechless. This guy with red hair really loves to laugh. Many of Luffy's habits are learned from this guy. Not long after, a tall, thin man with a black tall hat and a goatee came to the display stand of the auction. After a few greetings to everyone, the auction officially started. 2 girls in bikinis put the items to be auctioned in this auction on the display stand one by one. The previous auctions were all diamond treasures found in historical sites, and all the people who took pictures were locals from Alabasta. Until an hour later, the main event is coming. The man with the goatee began to introduce the finale treasure excitedly. I think everyone should have heard of a treasure called a secret treasure of the sea, a treasure called a devil fruit, right? Although eating a devil fruit that is the incarnation of a sea devil will kill you. The sea turned into a landlubber in disgust, but each devil fruit can give the eater powerful superpowers. Therefore, the market price of devil fruit can even be sold for more than million Baileys. Today, what we are going to auction is the natural fruit. One of the devil fruits. Come on, get the goods. As soon as the man with the goatee finished speaking, the two girls in bikinis pushed a trolley with a small square wooden box and came to the man with the goatee. Everyone in the auditorium stared at the wooden box expectantly. The man with the goatee hooked his mouth and lifted up the sliding door of the box facing the auditorium. One had a spiral pattern on the top, a green handle, a swirl at one end and a flame shape at the other end, and countless small flame-shaped spiral fruits on the skin. The orange-red spherical fruit formed by the accumulation of patterns appeared in front of everyone. Lin Mo looked at the devil fruit in the square box speechlessly. He is very sure that this is the devil fruit that Ace will eat, Luffy's righteous brother in the future, the son of Gall D. Roger. He remembered that Ace was supposed to be a burnt fruit that he ate on an unnamed island. Why is it in Alabasta now? Oh, it turned out to be a burnt fruit. The red-haired rubbed his chin, staring thoughtfully at the devil fruit that had been eyed by many people. The man with the goatee saw that everyone in the auditorium was very interested, and continued, I won't talk nonsense, the base price of this devil fruit starts at 1,000 million Baileys, and the price increases by million every time you raise your hand. The auction has officially started. Everyone can bid. Immediately afterwards, people in the audience kept raising their hands to increase the price. No one raised their hands until Xiao Xiao Guo was called to 1 billion by an old man. The man with the goatee smiled and said, 1 billion, now it's 1 billion, is there anyone going to increase the price? If not, this devil fruit will. Before he finished speaking, Buffalo, who was sitting in the front row, raised his hand and said, 15 billion. 15 billion. The man with the goatee was surprised, should we just add million? Buffalo said with a smile, hey, yes, I will add million directly. Is there anyone else who has more than me? What's the matter, this man? Have money but no place to spend it. Really, how can there be such a shot? People around complained dissatisfiedly. The old man who raised the price to 1 billion before looked at Buffalo speechlessly, calculated his family fortune in his heart, and silently gave up on continuing to increase the price. Okay, 15 billion a time, does anyone want to raise the price? The man with the goatee burst into laughter. Those of them who are in the auction business naturally hope that the auction items can be sold at a better price, so that they can earn more. Who are those two people? Akainu asked, staring at Monet and Buffalo. The navy next to him immediately took out a booklet and began to search, but Monet couldn't find it, but he found Buffalo's information. Report, the woman doesn't know, but the fat man is from the Don Quixote family. Don Quixote, Akainu sneered, that pirate family. Report, yes, Akazuki sneered and said, HMPH, it's just right, when the Xiao Xiao fruit is in hand, arrest those two people. Huh, but that woman is not sure if she is an accomplice of the Don Quixote family. What's there to be sure about? Those two people are sitting together, they are a group, just arrest. Afterwards, Akainu raised his hand when the goatee man asked for the last time if anyone wanted to raise the price, and said directly, 20 billion. Akainu's 20 billion made the audience gasp. Is this devil fruit so popular? I thought there was only one who was taken advantage of and would directly increase the price by million, but I didn't expect there to be another. Tisk tisk tisk, I thought I was rich enough, but I didn't expect it, there are people out there who are beyond the sky, and I'm convinced. If I had the funds, I would ask the same price. Unfortunately, I'm not good at it. I really envy these guys who have money and can spend it freely. Buffalo directly ignored these voices, and looked back at the guy asking for 20 billion with dissatisfaction. Because of the lighting problem, Buffalo only felt that Akainu's face was familiar, but he didn't immediately recognize who it was. Hey, what are you doing? Do you have to compete with me for burning the fruit? Buffalo asked in an unhappy tone. Akazuki sneered and said, why, only you can bid the price, I can't. Buffalo clenched his teeth and almost couldn't resist getting up and punching the guy. Monet quickly grabbed him, and said softly, forget it, the young master said let's buy the Xiao Xiao fruit in a low-key manner, and don't make too much noise. Buffalo said angrily, obviously, that guy just wants to fight against us, and actually imitated us to add millions of at a time, I want to see, who else here is richer than our Don Quixote family? Quote. As he spoke, Buffalo immediately raised his hand and said bluntly, 25 billion. Akainu frowned and raised his hand again, 30 billion. 30 billion. The goatee man felt his heart was about to jump out of his chest, and asked excitedly, guests sitting in the back row, did you pay 30 billion? HMPH, doubt me. Akainu asked funny. No, no, as long as you pay. The man with the goatee immediately rubbed his hands and laughed. This is too bad. Monet frowned. If we didn't bring back the Xiao Xiao fruit, we would definitely be scolded. Buffalo stood up angrily from his seat, turned to face Akainu, tried his best to restrain his emotions, and gritted his teeth. I advise you, it's best not to fight against me, otherwise, there will be consequences, I can't guarantee that. Akainu sneered and said, okay, then let me see what you are capable of. You. Buffalo pointed at Akainu and looked at Monet. Monet, you see, it's not that I don't want to keep a low profile, it's not that someone wants to fight us. If the devil fruit auction site was on another small island, Doflamingo's men and Akainu could have snatched it up without a word, but the auction site was in Uba, the largest trading center in Alabasta. Alabasta is a superpower that is being watched by all parties. Doflamingo has just become the king of Dressrosa, and Akainu is on the Navy side. If they fight for a devil fruit in Alabasta, it's a bit ugly, although Akainu doesn't care about losing face, but once it becomes news and is reported, it will easily have a bad influence on the Navy. After all, Akainu is still a person who extremely maintains the majesty of the Navy. No matter how brutal his actions are, he will not be ambiguous about certain major matters. The other guests in the auction saw that the two were choking, and they all looked like melon eaters. Some even expected that the two would really fight. Lin Mo and Hongfa also acted like they were watching a play. The red hair hooked the corner of his mouth, and said in a low voice, it seems that the situation is getting more and more interesting. Lin Mo, should we fight for the Xiao Xiao fruit as well? Lin Mo said speechlessly, no. You, a guy who doesn't have any abilities on the pirate ship, would be interested in devil fruits. Of course, the previous rubber fruit was an exception. But after the rubber fruit was eaten by Luffy by mistake, it is estimated that the red-haired guy is even less interested in devil fruit. Ha ha ha. The redhead laughed loudly. That's right, even if we have the heart to compete, it's useless without money. However, it's really surprising that this guy Akainu can sit here calmly. Buffalo, hold your breath first, we can't do anything here. Monet forced Buffalo to sit him back, and said softly, the young master just took power in Dressrosa. We can't do anything in Ala if Baston caused trouble. We will give the Xiao Xiao fruit to that guy first, and we will find a way to snatch them after they go out. HMPH. That's the only way to go. Buffalo looked directly at the man with the goatee and said, I abstain from the shoot. His words made the people around him sigh in dissatisfaction. They thought that there would be an earth-shattering quarrel even if there was no fight, but in the end there was nothing. The man with the goatee laughed and said, since this gentleman doesn't increase the price, do other guests have to increase the price? If not, this devil fruit will be taken away by the gentleman wearing the hat sitting in the last row. Seeing that no one raised the price, the man with the goatee announced, okay, this auction is officially over. Everyone, you can leave in an orderly manner. Please bid the devil fruit, mister. After paying the auction price, you can leave with the devil fruit gone. Every auction item is the auctioneer, who pays on the spot and takes away the auction item directly. The previous auction items have already been taken away by their buyers. Akainu glanced at the Navy boy sitting next to him. The Navy boy nodded, and immediately got up and trotted towards the display stand. Is it too deliberate for us to go around from the front? The red-haired man glanced at Akainu who was sitting at the entrance, and asked with some headaches. It is most convenient for him and Lin Mo to walk directly from this row to the entrance, but in this case, they must pass in front of the red dog. At that time, the red hair will definitely be recognized by the red dog. But if you go around from the front, it will appear very deliberate, and it will also arouse the suspicion of Akainu. Just when the redhead was still thinking about how to get out, Lin Mo got up suddenly, and walked directly to the door in front of him. The red hair just watched him leave step by step. Lin Mo walked past Chiquan calmly. Akainu looked at him with a sullen face, and for some reason, there was a strange feeling that could not be expressed. As soon as he turned his gaze, he found two knives hanging on Lin Mo's waist, one of which was Goosh. Little devil. Just as Lin Mo was about to walk past him, Chiquan suddenly called out to him, where did you get your knife? Lin Mo ignored him and left the auction directly. Cut. Akainu said disdainfully, "What arrogance." The red hair looked at Lin Mo going out dumbfounded. This guy really left without me. But this is also good, if it is really discovered by the red dog, it will not hurt the troublesome guy. Thinking of this, the red hair was relieved, and he didn't bother to take a long way around. He got up directly, with a smile on his mouth, and calmly walked towards the door where the red dog was. When he passed in front of Akainu, and the way Akainu looked at him gradually changed, the redhead raised his hand and greeted first, "Hey, Akainu, long time no see." Akainu sat there, waiting for his subordinates to bring the yashao fruit. Unexpectedly, the red-haired man who he thought was wrong before would walk past him in such a swaggering way, and even greeted him. How arrogant! Akainu stood up immediately, and steam began to rise all over his body. The red hair saw that this guy was obviously going to fight him. Without any fighting intention, he didn't say anything more, and immediately ran away. "Shanks, let me see where you are going." Akainu's face darkened, and he was about to chase. The Navy boys around him quickly stopped him. "General, this is the most prosperous trading center in Alabasta. We can't do anything here, or we will be gossiped about. We are the Navy, and that guy is a pirate. It's only natural for the Navy to catch pirates. Let me see who dares to gossip." Akainu pushed away the Navy boy who blocked him, and chased him out elementally. Akainu is a magma fruit-capable person, who can elementalize the body and turn it into hot lava. Normal attacks have no effect on it. His high temperature can even easily melt the formation. At this time, most of his body had been turned into lava, and he quickly chased in the direction where the red hair was running, but wherever he touched, it would inevitably be destroyed and a big hole would be dissolved. Buffalo and Monet originally wanted to wait for the person who snatched the xiao fruit they wanted to shoot to go out, and then find a chance to grab it. But when they saw that the person who snatched the fruit from them was actually a devil fruit-capable user, and also elementalized into magma, the name of the next person appeared in their minds. "Is it Admiral Akainu?" Buffalo said in surprise. Monet's expression was not very good either. Unexpectedly, for a devil fruit, the Admiral was actually dispatched. "Buffalo, we can't get the burnt fruit. The Admiral is not something we can deal with. Let's talk to the young master first. Report the situation here." Buffalo nodded helplessly. "That's the only way." "Hey, Akainu, I didn't come to fight with you." The redhead ran ahead dumbfounded. Akainu followed behind with a sullen face. "I am the Navy, and there is no reason to catch pirates. Since you dare to appear in front of my eyes, then be prepared to be caught." Because it was night and it was not a festival, there were very few pedestrians on the streets of Yuba, which made it easier for the two to chase each other. It was rare for Akainu to have a sense of proportion, and did not launch a direct attack on the streets of Yuba. The red hair discovered this, so he started running around in the streets and alleys of Juba. Akainu was really tired of chasing him. When Hongfa ran to a slightly larger street, he immediately stretched his lava-formed arms, and attacked his body at a speed that Hongfa couldn't dodge. "You're serious?" The redhead stopped immediately, drew out the saber griffin, met Akainu's lava fist head-on, and blocked the blow with the blade. A powerful heat wave spread out from the center where the lava fist collided with the griffin, shattering the empty stands around. If it was an ordinary knife, it would have been melted by the lava of Akainu long ago. But the red-haired griffin is a famous sword, and the red-haired itself is very strong. It is not difficult to resist the blow of the red dog. "Akainu, I don't want to fight with you." The red hair frowned slightly, and pushed back Akainu's lava fist. "It's not up to you whether to fight or not." Akainu immediately lava-formed his arm again, then turned the lava-formed arm into the shape of a dog's head and stretched out the lava-formed limb to attack the red hair again. This trick is the dog biting the red lotus, which is very powerful, and the red dog can control the dog head made of lava to bite the enemy when attacking. "You guys are really..." The redhead watched with a headache as the dog nibbled red lotus coming towards him menacingly, sighed helplessly, and turned Griffin's blade slightly, and was about to meet it time. A sharp shout distracted the redhead's attention. "No!" A woman wrapped in a headscarf rushed towards the crying little girl who was about to be hit by a broken limb from a stall. But her speed couldn't keep up with the speed of the wooden thorn flying towards the girl. Seeing that the girl was about to be hit by the wooden thorn, the red hair immediately changed direction without saying a word, and with a dodge, appeared beside the girl, and easily chopped the wooden thorn into the air. At the same time, Akainu's Anuya actually followed the trajectory of the red hare, turned a corner, and still quickly attacked the target red hare. The red hare immediately picked up the little girl and threw it to her mother. Go! The girl's mother hugged the girl and bowed to the red-haired girl, then hurriedly ran away in small steps, as if fleeing for her life. And the red dog's attack has reached the red hare. The red hare was about to fight back. The dog's head-biting Honglian had already bit his left shoulder. Seeing that his arm was about to be bitten off, the red hare didn't even frown, picked up the griffin, and chopped off the lava dog's head like cutting tofu. Akainu's hand quickly returned to its original state. Although the elemental hand was cut off by the enemy's attack, his hand was not really broken, and most of the attacks would not cause substantial damage to him, but the red-haired this seemingly simple blow cut his hand. Looking at the bloodstain on the back of his right hand, Akainu couldn't help but frown. And the lava dog's head biting on the red hare's shoulder gradually dissipated when it was cut off by the red hare. The red hare glanced at his bloody shoulder, and couldn't help joking, "Oh, it didn't break like this. It seems that my luck is pretty good." Akainu snorted coldly, and said, "HMPH. Shanks, I'll give you another chance, obediently catch you without a fight, and I won't kill you." Shanks scratched his head and grinned, "Sorry, I didn't intend to be caught by you so easily." "Okay, since you don't cooperate, then die here." Saying that, Akainu turned his arm into lava again. When the red hare was preparing to fight again, not far away, a small figure who was drinking while walking appeared in front of his eyes. Lin Mo. The red-haired man froze for a moment, then twitched the corner of his mouth, and immediately ran in the direction of Lin Mo without saying a word. Chiquan also noticed Lin Mo. "Isn't that the arrogant brat at the auction? By the way, this brat seems to have sat with Shanks before, it seems that the two of them are together." Akainu narrowed his eyes slightly, and without hesitation launched the dog-gnawing red lotus again, attacking in the direction where Shanks and Lin Mo were. Lin Mo originally planned to find a hotel to stay. Who would have thought that Yuba was so big, and when he walked casually by himself, he could meet red-haired and red-haired dogs who were fighting. When he saw the red hare running towards him excitedly, followed by a lava dog's head, Lin Mo's mood at the moment was extremely depressed. "I knew I wouldn't go this way." The red hare lifted Griffin's hand and waved at Lin Mo, completely ignoring the lava dog's head that was already catching up with him. When the red hare got closer and closer to Lin Mo realized that the red hare's left arm was already covered with blood, and it was seriously injured at first glance. No wonder this guy greets him with a knife hand. In Lin Mo's impression, the red hare would break an arm in order to save Luffy. But because he, Lin Mo, first solved the King of the Sea in the sea area around Fengche village, which indirectly changed the fate of the red-haired man who lost his hand. But looking at the current situation, is it possible that the red hare still cannot escape the fate of losing his hand? Lin Mo didn't think much about it. The bottle of wine that Lin Mo gave him suddenly slipped out of the red-haired chest pocket. Seeing this, the redhead immediately sheathed Griffin, and then reached out to grab the bottle of wine. Originally, he could have run to Lin Mo's side before being overtaken by the lava dog's head. It was because of this action that his speed slowed down, causing the lava dog's head to catch up with him ahead of time. Lin Mo looked at the red hare speechlessly. "What is this idiot doing? Putting your own safety on the line for a bottle of wine?" Seeing the head of the lava dog almost bite the red hare's neck, Lin Mo pulled out the third-generation ghost without hesitation, and slashed out with a single blow. Countless domineering sword chi. At the moment when the red hare caught the bottle of wine and was about to be bitten in the neck by the lava dog's head, they bypassed his body, chopped the lava dog's head behind him, and even the red head, the dog's lava arm connected to the lava dog's head, was chopped into pieces. Although the red hare didn't see Lin Mo's attack, he felt an unprecedented sense of familiarity. "Is it, Shun?" The red hare raised his head and stared blankly at Lin Mo, who was pulling the ghost into its sheath. And Akainu took half a step back abruptly. His hand returned to its original shape, but there were countless dense knife marks all over his arm, and some of them were even deep enough to show the bone. In an instant, his entire right arm was covered with blood, just like the red-haired left hand. "Am I cover? Who the hell is that brat?" Kai Quan glared at Lin Mo with an ugly expression. Lin Mo pressed down the hat he was wearing, and said indifferently, "Let's go." After finishing speaking, he turned around and walked into the alley next to him. The red hare came back to his senses immediately, stuffed the bottle of wine into his pocket again, and speeded up to chase after him. Akainu was going to chase. At this time, his men rushed over, each with wounds on their bodies. When they saw Akainu's bloody right arm, they were shocked. "General, are you okay? Is the red-haired Shanks injured? Quick, where are the medical soldiers? Come and treat the general." Akainu looked at them, and frowned even tighter. "What's the matter with you?" "Burning fruits. I was robbed." "What?" Akainu's face became even uglier. "You useless things, you can be robbed of everything. Did someone from the Don Quixote family do it?" No, it was robbed by a man wearing a mask. This man's way is very strange, we can't tell who it is." Akainu was so angry. This group of Marines also shut up one by one, not daring to say anything more, for fear of saying something wrong and making Akainu even more angry. At this time, Lin Mo and Hongfa had long since disappeared. Akainu took a deep breath, and said with an ugly face, "Give me the phone bug." "Ah, yes." A Navy boy quickly took out the phone bug that was in contact with the headquarters, offered it with both hands, and handed it to Akainu respectfully. Akainu took the phone bug directly and dialed the phone. Soon, the phone was connected, and the first call he heard was a crunching sound. Admiral Sengoku of the Navy headquarters is leisurely eating senbei with Carp and Aokiji, who just came back to report to work. The phone bug rang suddenly. Seeing that it was the call from Akainu, Sengoku answered it directly, and chewed on the senbei and asked, "Oh, Sakazuki, how are you doing in Alabasta? Have you got the yaki fruit yet?" Akainu was immersed in a black shadow that seemed to erupt at any time, and said in a cold tone, "It failed." "Huh, failed?" Zongguo was stunned, and asked strangely, "You still failed when you went out? Did you not bring enough money to get the photo, or was it robbed?" "It was robbed." Akainu didn't wait for Sengoku to ask any more, and said directly, "I saw the red-haired Shanks and the Don Quixote family here." "What? Redhead and Don Quixote's people are also eyeing the burning fruit?" Warring States was surprised. "Don Quixote, I know that they will do whatever they can to get the devil fruit that they are eyeing, but Redhead should be very concerned about the devil fruit. I'm not interested. Why did he appear in Yuba? So, who robbed the burning fruit? Is it someone from Don Quixote?" "No, it was snatched by a masked man." "Huh, with you here, you can still be snatched away. I was chasing redheads at the time, and I didn't care about burning the fruit." Zongguo was speechless. "What about the red hare? Did you catch him?" "No." Akainu became angry at the thought of this. Zongguo said helplessly, "You also know the strength of the red hare. He is indeed not an easy guy to be caught. Let him run away. Since the mission has failed, he should come back early. There is still a lot of work to be done in the headquarters." Quote. Before the Sengoku words were finished, Akainu cut off his words, and continued with a sullen face, "I almost killed Redhead, but he was saved by a kid. I need the headquarters to search for the identity of this kid immediately." "Little devil." Zongguo was stunned. Akakin continued, "He has 2 swords, a wooden sword, a ghost, and a wine gourd. He is about 10 years old." "Around 10 years old." Zongguo was shocked. "Sakazuki, are you sure that a 10-year-old child can save the red hare under your hands?" When Garp and Aokiji heard Sengoku talk about 10-year-old children, they suddenly became energetic. Akainu said with an ugly face, "That's right, and the swordsmanship he uses is very similar to Roger's evasion." Warring States was shocked again. "God avoidance? Can a 10-year-old child learn how to avoid God? Are you sure you read it right?" "Sure," Akakin said with certainty, "I'm absolutely not mistaken. It's best to find out the identity of this kid quickly, and he must be killed before he fully grows up. Otherwise, he will become a threat to shake the world, just like that." After speaking, Akainu hung up the phone. Sengoku put down the phone bug silently. Noticing Garp and Aokiji's gaze, Sengoku said with a slightly heavy face, "Akakinu said that there was a child who was about 10 years old who could use divine evasion, and rescued the red hare under his nose. The existence of this child, it is very likely to become a threat to shake the world. What a headache, the world is so big, how could it be possible to find out the identity of this child based on the things that this child is carrying? Is the kid you're talking about wearing a wine gourd and a wooden sword?" Carp asked with a smile. Qingzi added, "When he was in Rog Town, Someone saw that he had an extra sword when he went out to sea. Now it should be 2 swords. Oh, so that's the case. Garp nodded. The corner of Zhongguo's mouth twitched slightly, and asked with a half-smile, "Who are you talking about?" Garp scratched his head, with an expression as if "you were teasing me," and said strangely, "Lin Mo, don't you know about the Warring States period?" The corner of Zhongguo's mouth twitched wildly. "No one has told me about this person, how do I know?" "Huh, what's going on here?" Garp looked at Aokiji and asked, "I thought Aokiji told you, so I didn't mention it anymore." Qingzi scratched his head and lazily said, "Don't look at me, you knew him first, and I thought you had already told the headquarters." "Didi, help the red-haired Shanks out of danger. The sign in progress is plus 20%, the current total progress is 30%, and the reward swordsmanship level is plus 1, and the current swordsmanship level is LV7. Single quote. Lin Mo was walking, when suddenly, a reminder from the system sounded in his mind. Immediately afterwards, a more powerful sword force spread out from him as the center, and there was only a crackling sound of stab, and the walls of the surrounding buildings were cracked with countless dense cracks. Lin Mo instantly felt that he had become stronger again. Just now, he could only cut off Chiquan's hand with the divine avoidance. Now, he is completely confident that he can directly chop off Chiquan's arm. The red hair has been following Lin Mo silently, blood has been oozing from the wound on his left arm. Because of the injury to the muscles and bones, the whole arm cannot move, and the blood flows down his arm, drop by drop, dripping to the ground. When he was about to ask Lin Mo about his sword skills just now, a powerful sword force suddenly struck him when he was caught off guard. Because there was only less than 3 meters away from Lin Mo, he had no time to dodge. If he hadn't been injured, this little bit of sword power really wouldn't pose any threat to him. But it was different now. He was injured, and he had no defense against Lin Mo at all. Although this powerful sword force only appeared for a moment and then disappeared, it still caused a little bit of secondary damage to him. The redhead coughed uncontrollably. Ahem. Lin Mo paused, looked back at him, and said nothing. A woman suddenly appeared at the entrance of the alley, looked around, found Hongfa and Lin Mo, and immediately ran towards them. It was the mother of the little girl rescued by the red hair just now. Finally found your benefactor. Seeing that the red hair was injured, the woman said anxiously, "Oh, why is there so much blood? My house is nearby, why don't you go to my house for treatment first?" The red hair looked at Lin Mo, and asked with a smile, "Little devil, what do you think?" Lin Mo said indifferently, "Whatever." "Okay." The redhead looked at the woman and smiled, "Then I will trouble you." The woman waved her hand and said, "It should be, you saved my daughter first, let's go, you have bled so much, doesn't it hurt? Why are you still laughing?" "Ha ha ha, it's just a little blood, it's nothing." The red hair laughed and followed the woman along with Lin Mo. Soon, they came to the woman's house. The woman immediately took out a medicine kit. The red hair took off his coat, and his entire left arm was already stained red with blood. The little girl who was rescued by red hair, although very scared, brought out a basin of water and helped her mother treat red hair's wound together. As the little girl afraid of this kind of scene, the red-haired stared at the little girl with a smile and asked, "No, I'm not afraid." The girl gritted her teeth and shook her head, although her face was already pale. "Ha ha ha." The redhead laughed loudly, "What a brave kid." The girl's mother looked at the deep bone on the red-haired shoulder, and the surrounding flesh was a bit burnt, and exclaimed, "This injury is too serious. Sure enough, it is better to go to the clinic." "It's okay," the redhead said indifferently, "just bandage the blood as soon as it stops." "How can this work?" the woman insisted. "I must go to the clinic. If this injury is not treated properly, it will easily cause sequelae." "Huh, it's so troublesome," the red hair pouted, "but the one who called me just now was the Navy, so it might be a little troublesome to go to the clinic." "Ah, Navy." The woman was stunned for a moment, hesitated, and then continued, "That's all right, I'll go to the clinic and call the doctor." "Oh, no. If someone from the Navy goes to the doctor to ask about you, it will still be exposed." "Well, can I ask, why did the Navy fight you?" The redhead laughed and said, "Probably because I'm a pirate, ha ha ha." "Pirate?" The woman was startled, and took half a step back with her daughter in her arms. "Sir, are you joking? Are you really a pirate?" The red hair looked at Lin Mo, seemingly helpless, but actually said without any reassurance, "Sure enough, pirates are scary negative images everywhere, ha ha ha." Lin Mo took a sip of wine speechlessly, then walked to the side of the red hair, raised his hand, and a bright green light immediately filled the palm of his hand. The redhead looked at him strangely. I saw the light slowly melt into the red-haired wound. He didn't feel anything at first, but slowly, the wound that was only painful at first gave him an itchy feeling that he couldn't help scratching. The woman and her daughter watched in disbelief as Lin Mo healed the red hair. After a few minutes, the redhead's bony scar was gone. It's just that the original wound left 2 black scars similar to tooth marks. Huh, so, cured. The woman was shocked. The red-haired eyes were also full of shock. Lin Mo, who are you? Lin Mo withdrew his hand, chuckled and said, ordinary people. Liar, you are obviously a monster. The red hair moved his left hand, and it was completely fine. After a moment of silence, the redhead asked, are you a devil fruit user? Lin Mo said calmly, no. If you are not, then how did you manage to heal the deep bone injury in such a short period of time? Lin Mo. In fact, he treated Hongfa's wounds only because Hongfa triggered him to complete the sign-in-progress task. And before he took action to save Hongfa, it was only because Hongfa was in crisis to pick up the bottle of wine he gave him. He was somewhat responsible, so he took action. Although Lin Mo was annoyed by the red-haired chatter, he didn't dislike the red-haired person. Seeing that Lin Mo started ignoring him again, the red hair scratched his head and laughed loudly, ha ha ha. At least tell me what method you used to heal my injury just now. Lin Mo said indifferently, the palm immortal art. Oh, it sounds very powerful. The red-haired changed the subject, and suddenly became serious. Also, the sword technique you used to attack the red dog is very similar to the sword technique used by a person I know. Lin Mo, you shouldn't be using divine avoidance, right? Lin Mo looked at him and said calmly, what do you think? The red-haired man froze for a moment. God's refuge is Roger's sword skill, which is not something that ordinary people can learn. When you were in Fengche village, you probably didn't know how to use sword skills, right? I haven't seen you for half a year. Even if your talent is no longer Gao, it is impossible to learn how to avoid God in half a year. Lin Mo, how did you do it? Suddenly thought of a possibility, the red hair asked in surprise. With 3-color arrogance and such a high talent for sword skills, Lin Mo, you are not Roger's illegitimate son, right? Lin Mo said speechlessly, I'm not. Huh, isn't it? The redhead was startled, scratched his head, and then disappointed, it's not. Lin Mo was too lazy to talk nonsense with him, so he got up and walked out. The redhead also got up and walked out with him, asking as he walked, are you going to Albana, the capital of Alabasta? Lin Mo hummed casually, oh, that's right. The redhead suddenly turned his head to look at the mother and daughter, smiled and waved his hands, thank you. After finishing speaking, he and Lin Mo left the mother and daughter's home together. The girl snuggled into her mother's arms and asked, Mom, didn't you say that pirates are all bad guys? But that red-haired uncle doesn't look bad at all, and he saved me. The woman hugged her daughter tightly, and said with a smile, this red-haired uncle is an exception, most pirates are still very bad. Lily, remember, if someone asks you if you have seen a red-haired uncle, you just say you haven't seen it. Ah, why, sometimes, deliberately forgetting is also a kind of repayment. You just need to remember him. There is no need to let everyone know. This is to protect yourself and the red-haired uncle. Understand? Yeah, I got it. After leaving the mother and daughter's house, the redhead said goodbye not long after they left. I'm going back to find Beckman and the others. Lin Mo looked at him silently. The red-haired grinned and said, ha ha ha. Did my sudden parting surprise you? Lin Mo, not at all. The red hair continued. I still have things to do. Maybe, in the next few years, we may not be able to see each other again. Of course, if you happen to come to the place where I am when you travel, that's a different matter. Yes, ha ha ha. Okay, I won't talk too much. There is no need to be so coy about the parting between men. The red hair smiled and picked up the wine Lin Mo sent and shook it, thank you for this wine. Beckman and the others will be very happy knowing that this is a gift from you. Lin Mo, well, so you wait to be beaten. Ha ha ha, then I'm leaving. The redhead laughed and walked directly outside Yuba without looking back, raising his hand and waving. Lin Mo looked at his back, smiled lightly, then turned around, went against him, and checked into a hotel at random. After the redhead asked passers-by where the nearest coast was, he called Beckman and asked them to bring a boat to pick him up. After a night's journey, at dawn, the red hare rode a giant crab that he had halfway coerced into submission, and rushed to the shore. "Boss, you are too slow, can you please? We've been waiting for you for several hours, can you be more reliable?" "Boss, didn't you say you would stay for 10 days? It seems that you were rejected by Lin Mo again, ha ha ha." At the deck railing, the crew members of the Red Hare Pirates stood there smiling and looking at the red hare who was rushing towards them. The red hare smiled and let go of the crab that had driven him half the way, then jumped onto the deck with a leap, and took out the wine that Lin Mo sent with a smile. "I brought something good for everyone." "Huh, what's this? It's so yellow. It looks like wine, but it doesn't look like it." The red-haired crew members gathered around and looked at the slightly precipitated wine in the red-haired hand. The red-haired man smiled and said, "It's snake wine, given to us by Lin Mo." "Snake wine, this is a good thing. Is this just one bottle? How can so many of us drink? It's too picky, that brat. Ha ha ha, but this is also the intention of others, let's take one bite at a time." Everyone is very excited. Beckman and Jesus looked at each other, and they entered the cabin together, taking out a bunch of small wine glasses. The red hare opened the wine cork, poured a small glass for everyone equally, then raised his glass and said, "Come, let's respect our good friend Lin Mo for his generosity of wine." Then everyone excitedly raised their glasses. Under the cheers, everyone cheered together. After a few seconds, everyone's faces changed. Most of the people spit out the wine they just drank. There were still a small half of them, who looked like they were about to be poisoned, and reluctantly drank it. Immediately, there were complaints. "Boss, is this the good thing you said? It's really good. Ah, I've never had such a bad drink. Boss, you were definitely tricked by that brat Lin Mo. Ah, what kind of stuff is this for us to drink? It's so bad, I feel like I'm dying." The red-haired man tried his best to drink this wine. Seeing the exaggerated looks of the crew members, he couldn't help laughing and said, "Ha ha ha. You are so funny, ha ha ha." "Boss, are you still laughing? It's all a good thing you did, what's so funny? Poof, ha ha ha. Ha ha ha, let alone, look at your appearance, it's so funny, ha ha ha. Don't talk about us, you are the same, ha ha ha." The atmosphere of the red-haired pirates is still extremely cheerful. Lin Mo woke up early in the morning. After checking out the room, I asked for the direction of Albana, rode the camel bot in the small town of Rohala, and prepared to continue on my way. When he had just left Yuba for a few minutes, suddenly there was a series of chaotic footsteps behind him. Immediately afterwards, a group of people in navy uniforms appeared and surrounded Lin Mo and his little camel. The red dog with a stinky face walked towards Lin Mo with a solemn and murderous look all over his body. "Little ghost, where did the red hare go?" Akainu asked with an ugly face. Lin Mo glanced at Chiquan's bandaged right hand, and said indifferently, "Let's go." "Leaving," Akainu said with a smile, "that guy was bitten by my dog gnawing Red Lotus. In a hot place like the desert, even if he really wants to go, he can't go far. Say, where is he?" Quote. Lin Mo. Seeing that Lin Mo didn't speak, Kai Quan snorted coldly, "Why, don't you want to say? Since you are with Hongfa, it is absolutely impossible to leave him alone. HMPH. I really didn't expect that Roger's remnants would be with Hongfa Hare together." Lin Mo. Roger's remnants. Could this guy also think he was Roger's son? Obviously Ace is. "Little devil, tell me, where is the red hare?" Akakin narrowed his eyes slightly, and his whole body began to slowly turn into elements. After a while, most of his body turned into lava. He looked like he was going to fight if he didn't agree with each other. Lin Mo said speechlessly, "I'm not a pirate." "Joke, you are not a pirate, why did you save him? You are not a pirate, why do you want to hide from Roger? You are too young to lie to me." After finishing speaking, Akainu immediately stretched his lava-formed left arm. He quickly attacked Lin Mo. Lin Mo stared at Akainu impatiently. The camel he was riding had long been frightened and his legs were trembling. Because the surrounding area was surrounded by the Navy, the camel had nowhere to run, so it could only stand deadlocked in place. Lin Mo immediately condensed and compressed the chakra in his body, then gathered it in his throat, and then spewed it out in one gulp, turning into a figurative fire dragon, and under his control directly met the red dog's lava left fist. The fire dragon opened its mouth wide and swallowed the lava left fist into its body. A trace of surprise flashed across Akainu's expression. Although Lin Mo's powerful dragon fire technique successfully reduced the attack speed of Chiquan's lava fist, it did not completely counteract it. Soon, the fire dragon was pierced and shattered by the lava fist, and continued to attack Lin Mo. And Lin Mo, who had already got off the camel at this time, squatted down slightly, and touched the yellow sand on the ground with his hands. Akainu was slightly surprised. A gust of wind suddenly swept from all directions. The corner of Lin Mo's mouth hooked slightly. Just as Akainu's lava fist was approaching again, a powerful storm entangled the billowing yellow sand, like countless extremely sharp blades with no attack trajectory, suddenly swept towards Akainu's lava fist from all directions. Akainu's expression changed, and he took it back immediately before the lava fist was hit by the storm. At the same time, because of the storm, a large area of the desert was covered by billowing dust. For a while, everyone was covered in dust. Lost sight of the senses. Ah, why is there a sudden storm? My eyes. I can't see anymore. It's so uncomfortable, there's sand in my mouth, ears and nose. All the navies dare not act rashly, because the wind is like a blade, as long as they move around, they will be cut. It wasn't until 10 minutes later, when the violent wind and sandstorm stopped, that everyone was relieved. Lin Mo had already put on windproof glasses, rode his little camel, and disappeared. Akainu looked at his burnt left hand with an ugly expression, and couldn't help but fall into deep thought. Obviously his lava temperature is higher than fire, why is he still burned? Lin Mo's wind escape infinite sand and dust breakthrough affected Yuba, who was just next to him, to some extent. The battle between Lin Mo and Red Dog happened to be seen by Monet and Buffalo, who were just about to slip away from Yuba. Both of them looked shocked. Buffalo pinched his face, and said in disbelief, I just saw a brat fighting Admiral Akainu and he still didn't gain the upper hand. Am I wrong? A little sweat broke out on Monet's forehead. You read that right. I saw it too. Buffalo turned to look at Monet. Is that kid a devil fruit capable user? Monet shook his head and said, I don't know, but he can release the fire dragon. Could it be that yesterday's Xiao Xiao fruit was eaten by him? That's right. Buffalo suddenly felt that it made sense. That's why the Red Dog chased it out, because that kid took away the burnt fruit. What happened to the sudden big storm just now? Monet thought for a while, and speculated. The climate here in the desert is ever changing, so it's not surprising that the wind suddenly blows up. Well, it should be that kid's luck. He just ran into a storm and escaped. I see. Buffalo suddenly realized. Then let's go back to Dressrosa. Monet nodded, and the two immediately bowed their waists and slipped away from the side path. Lin Mo was riding a camel, and in the short 10 minutes, he had already run out of the Red Dog's sight range. After the violent wind and sandstorm ended, a system notification sounded in his mind. Didi, fight against Admiral Akainu. Sign in progress plus 20%. Current total progress is 50%. Reward armed color domineering level plus 1. Current armed color level is LV7. Single quote. I feel that my body strength has increased a lot. Lin Mo couldn't help but chuckled. He really didn't expect to increase the progress of signing in by fighting with Akainu. After all, it was considered a fight last night, but it didn't trigger it. However, if you think about it carefully, he did it last night to save the red hair, and it wasn't a face-to-face confrontation with Akainu. It's not a big problem if the progress task was not triggered. Without thinking about it, Lin Mo continued on his way. The camels carried him leisurely in the desert for more than 20 days before arriving in Albana, the capital of Alabasta. This is a sprawling city more prosperous than Juba. There are 5 gates just to enter the city streets. Lin Mo led the camel directly from the gate of the nearest southeast district, and walked into the thriving street in Alba. There was a lot of hawking around. When passing a stall selling kebabs, the vendor owner fanned the barbecue grill with a fan in one hand, exuding a strong aroma of barbecue, and sprinkled special seasonings in the other hand, and shouted at Lin Mo with a smile, the kid who is leading the camel wants to try my barbecue. Is it? It's very cheap. It's only 1 Bailey's skewer, and the baking method and seasoning are all secret recipes handed down from my ancestors. It will definitely make you want to eat a second skewer after eating 1 skewer. How about it? Buy a few, let's have a taste. But let alone, the smell is really good, but it reminds Lin Mo of the barbecue stand downstairs in his house before he traveled to this world. Without thinking too much, Lin Mo took out 5 Baileys and gave it to the vendor owner. The vendor owner immediately handed her 5 skewers of barbecue with a smile on his face. Lin Mo held the barbecue in one hand and the jug in the other. After eating 2 mouthfuls of barbecue and drinking a sip of fine wine, he felt very happy. And his little camel, after nearly a month's trip to the desert, has been completely convinced by Lin Mo's strength, so even if Lin Mo doesn't lead it now, he will take the initiative, obediently follow behind Lin Mo. When Lin Mo passed a corner of a street, there was a burst of panic and noise in the originally bustling street. A man with a sharp mouth and monkey cheeks, holding a lady's bag, ran towards him quickly on the street in front of Lin Mo. Anyone who blocked the guy's path was pushed away by the guy. Behind that man, another girl with ponytails, blue hair, and an off-white dress was chasing him. "Stop, thief, stop!" The girl ran and shouted. The thief who was being chased by her didn't intend to listen to her, so he ran faster. "Go away!" After pushing away several groups of people, the thief quickly ran in front of Lin Mo, just as he was about to push Lin Mo away. Lin Mo took advantage of the situation and turned sideways, perfectly avoiding the thief's touch. The thief didn't expect Lin Mo to be so skilled. Before he could react, he met Lin Mo's camel, which he couldn't dodge. Then, one person and one camel bumped into each other, and with a scream, the thief fell to the ground. At the same time, the girl had chased after her and immediately snatched the lady's bag from the thief. "You dare to steal things in Alba, how bold you are!" The blue-haired girl said angrily. "Today I will give you a chance to reform yourselves. If I find you stealing things again next time, I will not be polite, move." At this time, many people surrounded the street. "This is Princess Wei Wei, she's amazing, she actually caught the thief." "Princess Wei Wei, you are too kind to this thief. For a person like him, if he steals once, there will be a second and a third time. You can't be too kind." "That's right, you can't let him go lightly, at least let him be locked up for a few days." "That's right, Princess Wei Wei, if you let him go, he will definitely make the same mistake again, don't be fooled by him." There was a lot of discussion around. A lot of cold sweat broke out on the thief's forehead. He clenched his teeth, didn't say anything, got up immediately, pushed away the crowd of onlookers, and ran away. Then, the woman who lost her bag came running anxiously. Vivi returned the bag to her. The woman was grateful. "Thank you so much, Princess Wei Wei." "It's okay." Wei Wei smiled sweetly, then looked at the crowd, and said, "Actually, thieves have their own difficulties. After all, no one is born a thief. I think he should be given a chance." After finishing speaking, Wei Wei came to the camel that helped her block the thief, and said with a smile, "Thank you just now, without you, I might not have been able to catch up with the thief, and I would not have been able to snatch the bag back." Quote. The little camel looked at Wei Wei, suddenly blushed, and shyly hid behind Lin Mo. Lin Mo. Wei Wei looked at Lin Mo, who was eating meat and drinking, and was stunned for a moment, then came to Lin Mo with a smile, and asked with a smile, "Is this camel yours?" Lin Mo responded lightly, "Yes. It's really smart," Vivi said with a smile. At this time, a man with blonde curly hair ran over anxiously, saw that Wei Wei was fine, and said out of breath, "Princess Wei Wei, you ran too fast." "Ha, it's okay you, it's okay. In the future, let me do this kind of catching of thieves, don't do it yourself, it's too dangerous." Wei Wei is the only princess of the kingdom of Alabasta. And this man with long golden curly hair is the captain of the Alabasta Kingdom Guard, Ikaram. Protecting the princess is one of Ikaram's main jobs. As long as Wei Wei leaves the palace, Ikaram will basically follow. Even if Wei Wei doesn't want him to follow, he will use a flawed disguise and try his best to follow. Seeing Ikaram coming, Wei Wei curled her lips slightly, pointed at Lin Mo, and said with a smile, "Thanks to his camel, I caught the thief." Ikaram looked at Lin Mo, sized him up briefly, and asked, "Looking at your outfit, you shouldn't be from Alba, right?" Which town did you come from? Lin Mo continued to eat the meat skewers in his hand, ignored Ikaram, turned around, and continued walking. There were too many people on the street, and when Ikaram questioned him, almost everyone's eyes were focused on him. Lin Mo didn't like the feeling of being stared at by many people. In addition, he was not very talkative, so it was his style to leave directly. Although his check-in-progress task is very likely to be related to this Princess Wei Wei, but compared to the task, he now wants to find a comfortable hotel, take a good rest for a few days, and then go around all the taverns in Albania. Let's talk after drinking enough. Huh, this kid is too rude, he left without even saying a word. Ikaram was quite dissatisfied with Lin Mo's performance. Wei Wei smiled and waved her hands and said, "It's okay, he may be more shy, after all, we are strangers to him." Ikaram said angrily, "But even if you haven't seen it before, this kid can't be so rude, you are a princess, how can he be so rude to the princess?" Ikaram, don't talk about it. Wei Wei's face sank a little. Actually, I am the same as everyone else, but I have an extra princess status. I don't want everyone to treat me just because I am a princess. Special discrimination. Wei Wei, Ikaram said distressedly, you know, that's not what I meant. Wei Wei grinned and said, "Hey, it's okay, the barbecue that person ate just now is delicious, I want to eat it too." Ikaram was stunned for a moment, then smiled and said, "Okay, Princess Wei Wei wants to eat, we will eat as much as we can." Chapter 91. Lin Mo took the camel and found an upper middle-sized hotel to live in. As for the camels, they were handed over to the hotel owner to take care of them. After sleeping comfortably in the room for an afternoon, Lin Mo left the hotel near the evening. He had a light meal in a restaurant first, and then found a nearby tavern. He ordered a few bottles of wine, drank to his heart's content, filled his wine gourd before leaving the tavern. It was already dark outside. Due to sleeping too much in the afternoon, Lin Mo is very energetic now and doesn't feel sleepy at all. After thinking about it, he decided to go around and find out the terrain of Albania first. After an hour, when Lin Mo came out of a certain alley, not far away, a man in black was carrying a girl whose hands and feet were bound and whose mouth was taped, and ran over at an extremely fast speed. When the man in black passed by Lin Mo's gaze met the tearful eyes of the girl who was struggling on the shoulders of the man in black. It's Vivi. When Wei Wei saw Lin Mo, she hesitated immediately. The man in black who was carrying her patted her unceremoniously, and said in a low voice, "Shut up." Wei Wei kept staring at Lin Mo with tears in her eyes. She wanted Lin Mo to help her find a rescuer. But when she thought of how Lin Mo ignored her during the day, Wei Wei's eyes full of anticipation gradually became depressed. Lin Mo silently stared at the direction in which the man in black ran away. Without saying a word, he immediately stepped on Shunpo and chased after him. Although he can completely ignore Wei Wei, but when he thinks that saving Wei Wei may complete the sign-in-progress task, even if the success rate of triggering the task is only half, he still has to give it a try. The man in black ran forward with Wei Wei on his shoulders. Wei Wei thought she was hopeless, but when she saw a figure approaching from a distance, and appeared in front of her in the blink of an eye, she was startled. The man in black sensed the movement behind him, turned his head and saw Lin Mo chasing him, and immediately quickened his pace, trying to get rid of Lin Mo. Lin Mo kicked the man in black's left calf as usual, only to hear a cracking sound, and the man in black's calf bone was broken. With a scream, the man in black jumped forward, and Wei Wei who was carrying him was thrown out. Lin Mo took a stride and easily caught Wei Wei, put her on the ground and untied the hemp rope that bound Wei Wei's hands. Wei Wei immediately untied the hemp rope tied to her feet, tore off the tape on her mouth, wiped the teardrops from the corners of her eyes with the back of her hand, suppressed her emotions, tried to smile, and said, "Thank you so much as you." Lin Mo waved his hand to express his thanks. But the system prompt he was waiting for never sounded. Apparently, it was a misjudgment. At this time, a large falcon-shaped bird spotted Wei Wei, and immediately glides down from the night sky, and after landing, it turned into a man in a white robe. It was the adjutant of the Kingdom Guard, Belle, who appeared after Lin Mo and the red hair dealt with a group of thieves in a tavern. "Princess Wei Wei, are you okay?" Belle asked nervously. She shook her head slightly. "I'm fine." Belle glanced at the man in black who was hugging his left leg and rolling all over the ground in pain, and then glanced at Lin Mo, who was about to leave, with a flash of surprise in his eyes. Are you, Lin Mo? Lin Mo didn't want to answer any of his questions, so he turned around and walked directly to the hotel. Then, facing him, Ikaram also ran over anxiously. When he saw that Lin Mo was also here, he stopped him with a look that I knew a long time ago. I just said, why are you so rude during the day? It turns out that you and that guy have colluded to kidnap Wei. Princess Wei is gone. The guy he was talking about was the man in black who was kicked by Lin Mo and broke his calf, and was still rolling all over the floor. No, Ikaram, I was saved by that Lin Mo. Wei Wei quickly explained. Huh, really? Ikaram said in shock. Didn't the man in black be defeated by Belle? Belle shook his head and said, it's not me. Huh, Ikaram was shocked again, but this kid looks only a few years older than Princess Vivi, how could he beat an adult? He can, Belle said slightly, although I haven't witnessed it with my own eyes. Many people have seen him drive away a group of desert thieves who can easily injure even the guards. Huh, just him, a kid with slender arms and legs, who can chase away a group of desert thieves. Ekulem looked suspiciously at Lin Mo, who had already passed by him, and couldn't see this no matter how hard he looked. There's nothing like a master in an impolite, arrogant brat. Lin Mo didn't bother to talk to him, and continued walking towards the hotel without looking back. Ikaram curled his lips and said, Belle, have you misjudged the person? No. Belle looked at Lin Mo's receding back, and affirmed, he was right. Everyone in the tavern saw it at that time. I believe that the people of Alabasta will not lie to me. Wei Wei looked at Belle with bright eyes, and said excitedly, Belle, do you know how he drove away those desert thieves? Belle nodded and continued. At that time, the people in the tavern said that Lin Mo was able to avoid all the bullets of the desert thieves, was hacked, and the knife was broken, but he was fine at all, and he was still fighting with his bare hands. Smash the weapons of the leader of the desert thieves. Wow, really? Lin Mo is so powerful. Wei Wei said excitedly. Although Lin Mo looks very indifferent to people, he is actually a person who is cold on the outside and hot on the inside. Otherwise he would not rush. Those desert thieves who are doing all kinds of evil will not come to rescue me when they see me being kidnapped. That's right. Belle nodded. I think so too. Yeah. Wei Wei grinned. It looks like I'm only a few years older than me, but I didn't expect to be so strong. In short, Lin Mo not only saved me, but also saved Alabasta. People, he is a hero. How can we treat a hero badly? Belle, Ekulem, I want to invite Lin Mo to the palace as a guest and treat him well. What do you think? I think so. Belle smiled. Ikaram didn't agree at first, but seeing Wei Wei's excited and expectant appearance, after thinking about it, he finally compromised. Although I don't like that brat's arrogant character, he saved Princess Wei Wei after all. Okay then. Great, Wei Wei said happily, then I'll invite him now. After finishing speaking, Wei Wei was about to chase in the direction Lin Mo was walking. Ikaram immediately stopped Wei Wei. Princess Wei Wei, it's so late, and His Majesty the King is still looking for you urgently. I think it's better to go back to the palace first, and let Belle invite you. Belle, Wei Wei pursed her lips and muttered, Belle has no sincerity in going. It's the most appropriate for me to go. If you don't want Belle to accompany me, Ikaram, you go back and report the safety of my father and me. Huh, Ikaram was greatly shocked. Why didn't Princess Wei Wei go with you? Isn't it the same to let Belle go back to report safety? Because Belle has met Lin Mo once. Wei Wei smiled, and, Ikaram, don't you hate Lin Mo? I don't think Lin Mo likes you very much. Come with me, otherwise, it might be counterproductive. So it's best for Belle to accompany me, and I'll leave it to you, Ikaram, on my father's side. After finishing speaking, Wei Wei took Belle and trotted after Lin Mo. Ikaram froze in place, then turned his back and burst into tears. Would it be counterproductive for me to be here? Princess Wei Wei, what you say is too much. Lin Mo walked in silence on the way back to the hotel. Not long after walking, the system's notification sound suddenly sounded in my mind. Didi, to gain the favor of Princess Wei Wei, sign in progress plus 20%, the current total progress is 70%, the reward Shunpo level plus 1, the current Shunpo level is LV4. Single quote. Feel your body become lighter. Lin Mo could not help but pause slightly. I was speechless for a while. Get Wei Wei's favor. What has he done? Wasn't that not a successful hero saving the beauty just now? But why didn't Wei Wei's favorability be directly triggered at that time? Therefore, it must be the guy who ate the animal-type bird fruit and the falcon form ability, the guy known as Falcon, Bell, who told Vivi about his previous deeds in that town. In short, the result was not bad, and he didn't save Wei Wei in vain. Without thinking about it, Lin Mo continued to walk forward. Also not long after walking, Wei Wei and Bell chased after her. Lin Mo, wait a moment. Wei Wei trotted directly in front of Lin Mo, blocking Lin Mo's way. Lin Mo stopped speechlessly. Wei Wei smiled and said, "Thank you for saving the people of Alabasta, and thank you for saving me, so I want to invite you to the palace and treat you well." "No need." Lin Mo directly refused, then bypassed Wei Wei and continued to walk in the direction of the hotel. Dazed, Wei Wei looked at Lin Mo's back with some unhappiness, and asked, "Bell, does he hate me?" "I don't think so," Bell replied, "that's his personality. I asked him questions in that tavern, but he didn't say a word. It was his companion, a man with red hair, who answered me." Quote, "The red-haired man." Wei Wei was stunned for a moment, and continued, "But during the day, I only saw him with a camel alone, and I didn't see any red-haired man." Suddenly thought of a possibility, Wei Wei hurriedly asked, "Bell, how long ago did you meet Lin Mo and his companions?" Bell thought for a while and replied, "About 20 days ago." Wei Wei continued to ask, "Is that small town far from Albana?" "If you ride a camel, it will take about 10 to 15 days to come directly." "Ah, then I should be right." Wei Wei's face froze. If it takes him 20 days to arrive at Albana at the latest, the extra 5 days will happen. What? Bell was surprised and said, "Princess Wei Wei, what do you mean? Lin Mo's companion might have been killed in the extra 5 days. Wei Wei nodded earnestly. "That's right, we are very clear about the geography of Alabasta. Even locals, walking in the vast desert, cannot guarantee that they can reach the next town in complete safety, let alone outsiders." "Well, so, Lin Mo's red-haired friend you mentioned must have been killed, and Lin Mo must be feeling very uncomfortable now, so he just ignores us, wishing that we would all stay away from him." Belle was silent for a moment, although she really wanted to say, "Maybe you are thinking too much, Princess Wei Wei," because the possibility of the situation that Wei Wei said is very small, but after thinking about it, I still think it is better not to hit Wei Wei now, so he nodded and replied, "Maybe it's true." "That's right, I knew that was the case." Wei Wei looked at Lin Mo who had gone far away, and said with fists, "I've decided, I want to influence him, let him get out of the shadow of his companion's death as soon as possible." Lin Mo didn't know that Wei Wei had already decided to help him get out of the shadow of his companion's death. He didn't even know when he had an extra companion. Redhead, and even Zoro, Sanji, and Chopper can only be regarded as ordinary friends he met through those islands, not companions. Meanwhile, on the ship of the Red Hair Pirates, Redhead is happily hosting a banquet on the ship with his crew. Suddenly, he sneezed suddenly. "Ha ha ha, boss, you are so weak, you actually caught a cold. Boss, your health is not good, I think you should drink more snake wine to replenish yourself." "That's right, snake wine is a good thing. I'll ask Lin Mo to bring you some more later, ha ha ha." The crew made fun of the redhead. The red-haired rubbed his nose disapprovingly, and grinned, "What cold? Someone must be thinking about me, maybe that guy Lin Mo is thinking about me, ha ha ha. Come on, little ones, keep drinking." After Lin Mo returned to the hotel, he drank all the wine in the wine gourd. Feeling that it was not enough, he took out 2 bottles of wine bought on other islands from the system space, and fell asleep after drinking them all. The next day, Lin Mo woke up early in the morning. The morning market in Albana is also very lively. Lin Mo randomly found a breakfast restaurant, ordered a bowl of noodles, and was eating. At the next table, a masked man in ordinary clothes turned his back on him and threw a round sack on the table. Sitting across from him was a fat middle-aged man in a fine attire and an orange round hat. Seeing that the masked man threw that thing on the table so rudely, the middle-aged man immediately picked up the sack, opened it and looked at the goods inside, and after confirming that there was no problem, he said angrily, "This thing, don't you know how precious it is? What if you smash it into pieces? I won't spend a lot of money on a defective product." The masked man chuckled and said, "This thing is not so easy to break, even if it really rots, you can still get the ability you want if you eat it. The middle-aged man said unconvinced. HMPH, I plan to use this thing as a collection. If it rots, what is the value of collection? The masked man waved his hand and said, so, it's time for you to pay my commission. The money that should be given to you is naturally indispensable, but you want 20 billion for this fruit. I'm afraid you are crazy. Don't think I don't know the market price of this thing. 1 billion, I will give you 1 billion at most. The middle-aged man I plan to bargain with the masked man. The masked man suddenly sneered, and slapped the modification gun on his waist on the table, pointing the muzzle at the middle-aged man. The middle-aged man was stunned for a moment, and a few drops of cold sweat could not help but appear on his forehead. Hey, you are just a bounty hunter. How many bounty criminals do you have to catch to earn 1 billion? Let's do this. 12 billion, no more. The masked man sneered and said, the Navy paid 30 billion Baileys for this fruit. I'll charge you 20 billion, isn't that too much? Since you want to bargain, then ask my gunner if he agrees. The middle-aged man didn't believe it. 30 billion. Are you kidding me? How could someone really spend 30 billion to buy a devil fruit? The masked man chuckled and pointed to Lin Mo, who was eating noodles behind him. That kid was also at the auction. You can ask him, or you can ask your cronies who went to the auction. The middle-aged man looked in the direction of the masked man's finger, and when he saw Lin Mo, he was stunned for a moment, and then laughed loudly. Ha ha ha, Huos, are you kidding me? Is that kid 10 years old? Can he go to the auction? Why not? The masked man laughed. You know people, you know their face, but you don't know their heart, so don't judge a person by their appearance. That kid is a very ruthless character, right? After speaking, the masked man Huos turned his head to look at Lin Mo and grinned at him. Lin Mo didn't want to hear the conversation between the two, but they were at the next table, so he couldn't hear it. What Haas said, it is not difficult to guess. What he sent to the fat rich man on the opposite side was the burnt fruit that was auctioned in Yuba before. As for how the masked man Haas snatched the burning fruit from under the eyes of the red dog, Lin Mo didn't know, and he was not interested in knowing. Originally planned to eat a bowl of noodles and leave, but unexpectedly, the other party gave it before finishing the noodles. Lin Mo directly chose to ignore Huos. The middle-aged man sneered and said, I think you are deliberately raising the price and just found a brat to help you. Maybe this brat is with you. It seems that you don't believe me anymore. Haas reached out his hand to the middle-aged man. Then the negotiation failed. Return the xiao fruit to me. It's a good idea. The middle-aged man immediately hugged the burning fruit in his hand. Since this good thing has already been in my hands, don't even think about taking it back. I hired you to grab this fruit in the first place. It's not me. You didn't know that Yuba would auction this thing. I've changed my mind now. I'll give you up to million. You can take it if you want it. Don't. Hee. This is Albana, and it's the best place for law and order, bustling street. Do you dare to kill me here? Huos suddenly sneered again, picked up the gun on the table, and pointed it at the middle-aged man's head. The middle-aged man smiled and stared straight at him. Million is still being chased by the guards of the Kingdom of Albana. Don't make a wrong choice, wrong step, step by step. The middle-aged man hadn't finished speaking. Just heard a muffled sound of bang. A special bullet that was 3 times smaller than ordinary bullets, spinning at high speed, hit the middle-aged man's forehead in one go. The middle-aged man's eyes widened, and with an expression of disbelief, he suddenly fell down on the table in front of him. A pool of bright red blood gradually spread on the table below his head. Ah, killed. Oh my God, someone dared to kill people in Albana. It's terrible. Where is the guard? Where are the guards? Suddenly, there were screams all around. Haas looked as if everything was under control, stood up calmly, snatched the small sack containing the devil fruit that the middle-aged man was holding, and then looked at Lin Mo, who had finished eating noodles and was wiping his mouth. He smiled and asked, Little ghost, are you interested in this devil fruit? As long as the price is reasonable, this fruit will belong to you. Lin Mo got up indifferently, and put the bowl of noodles on the dining table. He didn't intend to talk to Haas, he just ignored the screams of the people around him, and when he turned around to go to the tavern, he saw Wei Wei in the crowd at a glance. At this moment, Wei Wei's eyes were full of horror. Ikaram chased Wei Wei and squeezed into the crowd of onlookers. When he saw a man lying on a table in the noodle shop with a pool of blood on his head, the first thing he did was to quickly cover Wei Wei's eyes. Just when I was about to ask what was going on, I found that Lin Mo was here. Lin Mo didn't know why Wei Wei appeared here so early in the morning. However, looking at Wei Wei's state just now, she was definitely frightened. This should be the first time she saw someone die in front of her eyes, so Ikolem covered her eyes with his hands. Although Ikolem wondered why Lin Mo was here, but now is not the time to ask Lin Mo. Ikaram asked with a serious face, what happened here? Who killed the person who fell on the table? It was he was the one who killed it, Captain Ikaram. Yes, it's him, we saw it with our own eyes. The onlookers immediately pointed to the bounty hunter Hoth. Hoth grinned, said nothing, and immediately ran towards the densest crowd. Stop. Ikaram wanted to chase Hoth, but Wei Wei was still here, and she hadn't recovered from the shock, so he couldn't leave Wei Wei here alone. But he is the captain of the Kingdom Guard, and now so many people are staring at him. If he allows the murderer to escape like this, the residents of Albana may become suspicious of the guard. Just when Ikolem was still hesitating, with a pale face, Wei Wei pushed Ikaram's hand covering her eyes away, tried to keep herself calm, and then smiled. I'm fine, Ikaram, go quickly, don't let that person run away. But if I go, what will you do, princess? Ikaram, you are the captain of the guards. It is your duty to protect the citizens of Alabasta. If you give up chasing the murderer to protect me, what if he kills again? Since I am a member of the kingdom, princess, you shouldn't ignore the safety of the people for your own sake. Hurry up, I'm fine, really. Princess Wei Wei. Ikaram looked like he was about to cry. How great you really are, princess, you are only 7 years old. Okay, I get it. Ikaram turned his head and looked at Lin Mo, who was about to walk out of the crowd. The guards should come later, although I hate you. Lin Mo, please, before the guards come, help me take care of the princess, thank you. Lin Mo, he doesn't want to. Wei Wei immediately pushed Ikaram. What are you still doing in a daze? Go after him. Ah, I see, I'm going right away. Ikolem immediately chased in the direction where Haas slipped away. And Lin Mo has already walked out of the crowd of onlookers. He didn't promise Ikaram to take care of Vivi, nor did he intend to stay. Seeing that Lin Mo was gone, Wei Wei took another look at the man who had fallen on the dining table and was out of breath for a long time, clenched her teeth, then faced the worried people around her, and said with a smile, okay, everyone, let's all disperse and go back, and leave the rest of the matter to the kingdom's guards. Don't worry, everyone, we will never tolerate criminals. Since Princess Wei Wei has said so, I believe Lord Ikaram will be able to catch the murderer. Yes, I also believe that our kingdom's guards are quite powerful. That's right, then let's listen to Princess Wei Wei, let's go. It is good. There was a lot of discussion among the surrounding people, and it didn't take long for them to disperse. And Wei Wei, resisting the discomfort in her heart, stayed here alone. After waiting for 10 minutes, the guards came. Your Majesty, we received a report that someone was killed here. Why are you here alone? Where is Captain Ikaram? Princess Wei Wei, it's too dangerous here, why don't we choose 2 people to escort you back to the palace first? The guards were all surprised to see Wei Wei here. Wei Wei shook her head and said, I'm fine, you don't have to worry about me. Ikolem is going to catch the murderer, I'll leave it to you here, I still have something to do, so I'm leaving first. Huh, Princess Wei Wei, where are you going? Princess, don't run around, what if something happens? Wei Wei smiled and said, I've said it all, I'm fine, don't worry, I'll go back to the palace by myself in a while, and now I'm going to find someone. After finishing speaking, Wei Wei trotted directly in the direction Lin Mo was walking just now. It was too late for the guards to stop each other. Because it was still early, many taverns in Albana hadn't opened yet. Lin Mo searched a few streets before finding a tavern that had just opened and hadn't had customers yet. The tavern keeper is a half-century-old man. The tavern owner, who was wiping the glasses, saw Lin Mo coming in, looked up at him, then lowered his head and continued wiping the glasses, and asked while wiping, little brat, have you gone to the wrong place? Lin Mo came to the bar and sat down directly, grabbed Bailey on the bar, have a glass of the best wine here. The tavern owner glanced at Lin Mo's Bailey on the bar, smiled lightly, put down the wine glass he wiped, then put Lin Mo's Bailey on the table away, and immediately took out a large wine glass, poured him a large glass of wine and brought it to him. Lin Mo picked up his glass and took a sip. The taste was not bad, but compared with the rum he drank in Rog Town, it was a little less hot. It seems that I underestimated you, the tavern owner said with a smile. Lin Mo looked at him speechlessly. The tavern owner continued. Usually, children would choke and cry after drinking this wine, but you are fine, and you seem to be enjoying yourself. Lin Mo was too lazy to talk nonsense with him and continued drinking. Although the boss is a bit wordy, but the portion of the wine here is quite sufficient. For the same price, the tavern he went to yesterday could only buy a glass of about ml of wine, but here, a glass of wine is at least. After finishing the whole glass of wine, Lin Mo took out another handful of Baileys, and put his hip flask on the bar at the same time, fill it up, and then have another glass. It seems that your drinking capacity is very good. It doesn't look like a child should have a drinking capacity at all. As he said that, the tavern owner took the money and went to fill Lin Mo with wine. Lin Mo sat on the high stool in front of the bar and waited. Not long after, there was a sound of footsteps outside the gate of the tavern. You are indeed here. Wei Wei's voice appeared at the door. Lin Mo, I actually found it. Wei Wei trotted into the tavern, sat down on the high stool next to Lin Mo, put her hands on the bar in front of her, stared sideways at Lin Mo, grinned and said, I asked a lot before I asked you. After coming here, I didn't expect you to drink alcohol, it's amazing. Lin Mo, so, what the hell are you here for? Seeing that Lin Mo ignored her, Wei Wei said relentlessly, Lin Mo, it's the first time I saw someone die in front of me today, and it really scared me to death, but you didn't respond at all, don't you? Are you not afraid at all? Lin Mo, why are you afraid? I want to feel it too, but no one can give him a chance to feel it, distressed. The tavern owner finished filling Lin Mo with wine and came out from behind the wine cabinet. When he saw that Princess Wei Wei had actually come, he couldn't help being stunned. The tavern owner came to the bar, put Lin Mo's wine gourd and another large glass of wine in front of Lin Mo, then looked at Wei Wei, and asked, Princess Wei Wei, why are you here? I remember you don't know how to drink alcohol. I don't have any fruit juice or milk here either. It's okay, I didn't come here to drink. Wei Wei smiled and waved her hands. The tavern owner nodded, and couldn't help but look at Lin Mo more. No need to ask, Princess Wei Wei must have entered the tavern because of this kid. Wei Wei continued to stare at Lin Mo, tried her best to smile and said, Lin Mo, thank you so much last night. If you hadn't come to save me, I wouldn't know what terrible things would happen to me. Lin Mo, what can happen? Even if I really don't save you, you will be saved by Belle or Ikaram, otherwise, will there be a plot where you meet Luffy and the others in the future? Lin Mo directly picked up the glass and started drinking. A look of loneliness flashed in Wei Wei's eyes, and then she laughed again. Haha, you must think that I talk too much, although I am a princess, I hope everyone can treat me as an ordinary person, however, no matter how harmonious my relationship with everyone is, everyone still has a sense of estrangement and distance between citizens and princes and nobles. Don't look at me like this, in fact, I have a lot to say, but I don't know what to say. There's no one to talk to. After a moment of silence, Wei Wei continued, Lin Mo, I know that important people have died. Even as an adult, it takes a long time to get out of negative emotions, and you are only 2 or 3 years older than me. It must be difficult to accept, but people cannot be resurrected after death. No matter how sad you are, you still have to live. I don't know what you were like in the past, and I don't know where you are going in the future, but if you can't get out, would be dangerous. Lin Mo, what is this guy Vivi talking about? When did someone important to him die? The tavern owner suddenly understood. That's it. Although I don't know exactly what happened to this little brother, it is true that people cannot be resurrected after death. No matter how big the twists and turns are, no matter how difficult life is, people, you can't keep being negative. Once your negative emotions are greater than your reason, it's easy to lose control and do things that will make you regret even more. Boy, what Princess Wei Wei said is right, you should regulate your emotions and don't be too impulsive. Yes. Now I understand the reason why you drink so happily. I think you should have heard of the saying that you can use alcohol to relieve your worries and make you worry more. Lin Mo, are these two people singing oboe? Lin Mo asked speechlessly. So, who is my friend who passed away? Don't mention the sad things. Wei Wei smiled, You are still young, and you still have a long way to go. Lin Mo. Boss, I bought the wine he drank today, Wei Wei said generously. The owner of the tavern waved his hand and said, this boy has already paid. Although my shop is a little small and broken, I can still afford a few drinks. Boy, from now on, within 3 days, you can come here as many times as you like. I give you all the wine here for free. As long as you can drink it, you can have as much wine as you want. Lin Mo silently drank the whole glass of wine in his hand, wiped the corners of his mouth and jumped off the high stool. He didn't want to talk nonsense with these two people talking to themselves, so he turned and left the tavern. Wei Wei immediately jumped off the high stool and just chased to the door. The tavern owner suddenly stopped her. Princess Wei Wei, come on. Wei Wei paused, turned her head and nodded at the tavern owner, then stepped forward again, chasing Lin Mo with all her strength. Lin Mo, I know it's hard for you to accept, but the facts have already been settled. No matter how sad you are, you can't change your friend's fate. It will be good for you to get out of the shadows earlier. Wei Wei followed Lin Mo beside Mo, he said while running with small steps. Lin Mo ignored her the whole time. The flow of people on the street is increasing. Wherever the two of them passed by, many people would greet Wei Wei politely and respectfully. And so, Wei Wei not only has to work hard to enlighten Lin Mo, but also responds to everyone's greetings. She is very busy. Seeing that she was about to be unable to keep up with Lin Mo, Wei Wei was a little anxious, just as she was about to tell the people around her that she was in a hurry. Ikaram led a team of guards to stand in front of Lin Mo. You are suspected of murder, come with me. Ikaram stared at Lin Mo seriously. Wei Wei rushed over, protected Lin Mo behind her, frowned slightly and said, Ikaram, did you make a mistake? Lin Mo has been with me all this time, if he kills me, how can I not know? Quote. Seeing Wei Wei coming, Ikaram said helplessly, Princess Wei Wei, this matter is not as simple as you think. I caught the guy who killed the man in the morning, but he said that Lin Mo is his accomplice. Wei Wei doesn't believe that Lin Mo is Huosis' accomplice. He said that Lin Mo is an accomplice, so you believe it. That murderer dares to kill people, so what's the point of lying? Ikaram explained helplessly. I don't believe what that guy said, but there were so many people at the scene, why did he only say that Lin Mo was his accomplice and not others? What made me doubt the most was that the guy knows Lin Mo's name. Princess Wei Wei, you also know how arrogant Lin Mo is. If Belle hadn't told us in advance, maybe we still don't know Lin Mo's name. What? Wei Wei turned to look at Lin Mo in disbelief. Lin Mo, do you really know that murderer? Lin Mo said speechlessly, I don't know. Look, Lin Mo said he didn't know him. Wei Wei looked at Ikaram again. Ikaram supported his forehead and said, Princess Wei Wei, you are too easy to trust others, right? If he says he doesn't know him, he really doesn't know him. In short, before the truth of this matter comes out, I think we should at least first let Lin Mo go back with us to cooperate with the investigation. Wei Wei originally wanted to say a few more words for Lin Mo. Around, more and more people gathered around. As Captain Ikaram talking about the murder that happened in that noodle shop on West Street. It should be. I've heard it too. It seems that a man wearing a mask shot a fat man to death. Tisk tisk, I didn't expect that the murderer had an accomplice, and he was still a child. No matter how you look at it, this child doesn't look like a murderer. Could it be that the murderer is deliberately pouring dirty water on this child? But why did he how to do this? I don't know. If this child is really an accomplice of the murderer, it would be terrible. If he started to premeditate murder at a young age, then he will be able to do it when he grows up. The surrounding discussions are getting louder and louder. Wei Wei's face also became paler and paler. Clenching her fists tightly, Wei Wei turned her head to look at Lin Mo, hesitated for a moment, and then said, Lin Mo, you just follow Ikaram. After all, a murder really happened. Don't worry, I will definitely try my best to clear you of the suspicion. Hearing this, Lin Mo couldn't help but chuckled. Clear the suspicion. He didn't do it at all, and he didn't know that person, so why should he be suspected? Without much thought, Lin Mo ignored Wei Wei and Ikram, and walked past Wei Wei directly. Seeing this, Ikaram immediately asked the guards to surround Lin Mo. Hey, don't hurt Lin Mo, Wei Wei said angrily. Lin Mo stared coldly at the guards in front of him, and said indifferently, get out of the way. Lin Mo, you'd better cooperate with us. This is Alabasta. It's not a place where you can mess around. Even if you don't give me face as the captain of the guard, at least give Princess Weiwei some face who has been speaking for you. If you are innocent, we will investigate this matter thoroughly and clear you up. If Princess Weiwei was not still here, Ikaram would have taken Lin Mo away by force. If it is an ordinary person, the other party has said this, maybe they will be really touched and cooperate with the investigation. And Lin Mo is an unrestrained person, unless he wants to go, no one can force him to do anything. I say the last time. Lin Mo said blankly, get out of the way. Seeing that Lin Mo was not cooperating at all, Ikaram originally wanted to ask Princess Weiwei's permission to arrest Lin Mo directly. The whispers of doubts from the surrounding crowd made him feel stressed. Ikaram didn't care about other things, and directly ordered, take him back first, let's do it. Ikaram, no, let me go. Weiwei wanted to stop, and even wanted to stop the guards herself, but Ikaram caught her. After the guards got the order, they took their guns and approached Lin Mo step by step. Lin Mo moved his feet. When the guards approached, they kicked out suddenly, and a white chopping wave knocked away the people surrounding Lin Mo in milliseconds. In an instant, there were screams and panic. Lin Mo withdrew his foot and looked at the few people who were kicked by him in the air. Their clothes were only torn, no blood was seen, and they were rolling on the ground in pain. It seems that the power of the first-level Lanjiao is still not strong enough. Without thinking about it, Lin Mo took a step forward and continued to walk. Wherever he passed, all the onlookers immediately gave way to him, as if he was afraid that he would take his anger on them. Weiwei's eyes widened, she covered her surprised mouth with her hands, and looked at Lin Mo's back in disbelief. Ikaram's face turned pale, and he clenched his fists tightly. Without saying a word, he immediately chased after Lin Mo. He is the captain of the guard, and his subordinates were injured, and the one who injured them was the murderer's suspected accomplice. No matter what, he couldn't let Lin Mo just go away today. Ikaram chased after Lin Qi, kicked up and kicked Lin Mo quickly. Lin Mo turned sideways. Ikaram passed directly by him, retracted his foot quickly, and then slapped Lin Mo with his palm. Lin Mo smiled lightly, raised his right hand, stretched out his index finger, gathered all his strength on the index finger, and tapped Ikaram's palm with his hardened armed-colored finger, releasing a blow in a burst of lightning and flint. Ikaram only felt a pain in his palm, and immediately withdrew his hand, only to see a piercing blood hole appeared in the position of Lin Mo's point in the palm of his hand, and the blood dripped down to the ground along his hand. Who the hell are you? Ikaram didn't believe what Belle said before, that this kid could drive away desert thieves by himself, but now, he believed it, but he didn't understand, since this guy can help others drive away the thief who ran around and did all kinds of bad things should be a good person, why is he unwilling to cooperate with his investigation? Is it a guilty conscience? Lin Mo didn't know what Ikaram was thinking, nor was he interested in knowing. I moved my fingers, and it seems that the attack power of the first-level finger gun is higher than that of Lanjiao. Weiwei and the surrounding crowd were all shocked from ear to ear. Lin Mo didn't intend to answer any questions from Ikaram when he was about to move on. Regardless of the injury on his hand, Ikaram immediately pulled out the gun on his waist and pointed the muzzle at Lin Mo's head. You forced me to do this. I didn't want to hurt you. After finishing speaking, he directly pressed the trigger. No, Weiwei trotted towards Lin Mo and Ikaram. Lin Mo turned sideways and easily dodged the bullet. But at this time, Weiwei had inadvertently run onto the trajectory of the bullet. Princess Weiwei, get out of the way. Seeing that Weiwei was coming, Ikaram yelled anxiously. Weiwei stopped abruptly, staring at the bullets that were getting closer and closer to her in fear. She wanted to run, but her feet seemed to be filled with lead, and she couldn't move a step. If it is not stopped, the bullet will penetrate her forehead. When Lin Mo was dodging the bullet sideways, he caught a glimpse of Weiwei out of the corner of his eye, and seeing that she actually stood there still, he was speechless. Without further ado, Lin Mo immediately pulled out the third-generation ghost, and slashed at the bullet vertically. An invisible and powerful sword energy cut the bullet flying towards Weiwei in half easily, just like cutting tofu. The bullets that were cut in half deviated from the trajectory, and flew out respectively, brushing against Weiwei's temple hair. Weiwei was so frightened that her legs went limp and she fell to the ground. Seeing that Wei Wei was fine, Ikaram couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. The surrounding crowd also broke into a cold sweat secretly. After Lin Mo sheathed the ghost, he turned around and walked past Ikaram calmly. He saved Wei Wei just to keep people from Alabasta from bothering him. After all, Wei Wei is the only princess in Alabasta, and she is loved by people all over the country. If she really dies, then the enemy she will face is not only the armed forces of the kingdom, but also the entire people of Alabasta. Lin Mo didn't care how many enemies he had, but if he was blacklisted by the whole country, would he still go to the tavern to buy wine? Moreover, Alabasta's mission has not been completed, and he is not sure whether the remaining 30.00% progress has anything to do with Wei Wei. In short, Wei Wei can't die now. This time, Ikaram did not stop him, but chased after Wei Wei and helped her up. Princess Wei Wei, are you okay? Ikaram blamed himself. It's all my fault. If I hadn't shot, you wouldn't be in danger. I'm fine. Wei Wei immediately grabbed Ikaram's injured hand. Ikaram, your hand. It's okay, it's just a minor injury, Ikaram said with a dry smile. The surrounding people also secretly breathed a sigh of relief. The injured guards endured the pain in their bodies and came to Ikaram and Wei Wei one after another. One of the guards asked, Captain, that guy named Lin Mo, do we still have to go after him? Ikaram clenched his teeth and looked at Wei Wei. Princess Wei Wei, you should go back to the palace first. Ikaram, do you still want to chase Lin Mo? Wei Wei said in surprise. You are not Lin Mo's opponent at all. Don't chase him. Counting this time, he has saved me twice now. If he is really an accomplice to that murderer, then why did he save me? Princess Wei Wei, you are still young, and you don't understand many things. Ikaram sighed softly. Although I am also very grateful that he can save you again and again, but after all, he is suspected of accomplice murder. No matter what, I have to find a way to get him to accept the investigation, and leave the next thing to me. You go back first, be obedient. No, I don't want it. Come here, escort the princess back to the palace. Ikaram looked at the guards behind him. Yes, princess, please follow me back to the palace. The appointed guard immediately made a gesture of invitation to Wei Wei. Wei Wei wanted to refuse at first, but seeing the embarrassed look of the guard, she glanced at the tired Ikaram again, bit her lower lip tightly, and immediately turned around and ran towards the palace without saying anything. After Wei Wei left, Ikaram looked at the other guard and said, I can't handle that guy alone, go and call Belle over. By the way, bring the murderer along with me. Ikaram figured it out. Since there is no way to get Lin Mo to cooperate with him to go back to accept the investigation, he can only bring Haas over to confront Lin Mo face to face. Before Belle came, Ikaram followed Lin Mo with his flawed tracking skills. As for the injury on Ikaram's hand, during the follow-up period, he simply bandaged it with his own handkerchief. Lin Mo had discovered Ikaram a long time ago. Regarding this guy's stalking skills that are inferior to Sauron, Lin Mo was speechless and wanted to laugh. Sauron also knew to hide behind rocks or trees, but this guy took a branch to block himself. He really regarded himself as a tree. Without much thought, Lin Mo stepped on Shunpo and disappeared from Ikaram in an instant. Where's the person? Ikaram was shocked, and immediately put down the branch in his hand to cover himself, and looked around in a hurry, but he couldn't even find Lin Mo's shadow. Not long after, Belle found Ikaram with Haas, the masked man who was tied up, and saw the blood-stained handkerchief in Ikaram's hand. He couldn't help but frowned. I've heard it all. Go back and heal your wounds, and leave the rest to me. Ikaram waved his hand and said, It's okay, it's just a minor injury. The most important thing now is to find out the relationship between Lin Mo and this guy. Haas frowned and said, Lin Mo and I are accomplices. No matter how many times you ask, I always answer this. Shut up. Ikaram glared angrily at Haas with a relaxed face. If that kid is really your accomplice and you were arrested, can he come to rescue you? Thank you. I and all my men were injured by that kid. Ha ha ha. Huos laughed loudly. If you are not as good as others, don't blame others here. You fool. Get a beating, Ikaram said, about to beat Haas. Belle stopped him immediately. Don't be impulsive, Ikaram. We will find Lin Mo first to make sure they have nothing to do with him, and then deal with this person. Haven't you been following Lin Mo? What about others? When it comes to tracking, Ikaram scratched his head involuntarily. That guy runs faster than the duck runners, I didn't keep up. The running ducks are the fastest running ducks in Alabasta and can understand human language. Bell looked like I knew it, and said speechlessly, okay, come here. As he said that, Bell used the power of the bird fruit to transform himself into a falcon form. Ikaram grabbed Hoth and climbed up Bell's back. Bell took off immediately, circling over Albana looking for Lin Mo's whereabouts. In just a few minutes, he found Lin Mo, who was already outside the city, fighting some large sand beasts hidden in the sand. Found it, Bell said. Ikaram looked down, and when he saw Lin Mo, he had a very rich expression on his face. That guy's speed is really faster than the running duck, I'm not joking. From the distance we just had to Lin Mo at the current position, even the fast running duck has to run for nearly 10 minutes, but this guy Lin Mo arrived in only 10 minutes. What you said is true? Bell asked in surprise. Just now he really thought that Ikaram was just lying because he lost Lin Mo. Ikaram said seriously. Really, this kid is definitely not an ordinary person. In my opinion, he might be an adult wearing a child's coat. In fact, Lin Mo was only 17 years old before time traveling, and he was indeed not yet an adult. Forget about that, let's go find him. Bell immediately flew in the direction where Lin Mo was. At the same time, Lin Mo stepped on the moon steps and came to the top of the giant scorpion he had drawn out. He applied the iron block and the armed color to his left hand at the same time, and suddenly punched the top of the scorpion's head. The whole body of the giant scorpion was immediately covered with countless spider web cracks, and there was only a bang sound, and the scorpion shattered into countless pieces and scattered all over the ground in front of Bell and his party, who were getting closer and closer to Lin Mo. Ikaram and Ha's eyes bulged out of shock. Bell was also surprised, but compared to Ikaram, he was still calm. Landing on the ground with Ikaram and Hoth, Bell immediately turned into a human form. This guy's strength is really amazing. Bell said solemnly, if Lin Mo had hit you seriously before, you would have died a long time ago. Ikaram swallowed involuntarily. After Haas regained his composure, he laughed and said, ha ha ha, I've actually known this guy's strength for a long time. Liar. Ikaram knocked Haas on the head directly, you were as shocked as I was just now. I'm just pretending. Haas looked at Lin Mo and shouted, hey, Lin Mo, save me, I've already hidden the treasure I got from Yuba, and when I'm free, why don't you share half of that thing with you? Sample. Lin Mo. This guy is talking about burnt fruit. Lin Mo is not interested in Xiao Xiaoguo at all. But it was this guy who dared to frame him. Lin Mo turned around to face the three of Ikaram, and his gaze fell on Haas with a relaxed expression. Huo Si saw Lin Mo's eyes showing a murderous look, and quickly said, that's good, that thing belongs to you, how about I share half of the property I have saved over the years with you? Lin Mo said indifferently, it's not very good. Hey, what are you talking about? Ikaram frowned. Lin Mo ignored him. Stepping on Shunpo, he appeared in front of Haas in the blink of an eye. Bell and Ikaram hadn't had time to be surprised. Lin Mo had already punched Huo Si. Huo's immediately broke free from Ikaram's shackles, broke free from the iron chains that bound him, and lowered his head to avoid Lin Mo's blow. What? Ikaram didn't expect Hoth to break free so easily. Haas took a few steps back and said with a hooked smile, Ikaram, do you really think you can catch me? I was just bored and you caught me on purpose. I originally wanted to rely on this opportunity to get me. This kid Lin Mo is trying to get close. It seems that I have played too much. Ha ha ha, Lin Mo, you are strong, but I am not weak. Even if I can't beat you, at least I want to run, but you still can't stop me of. After finishing speaking, Haas immediately turned into an element, and his lower body turned into a raging fire, suspended in midair. You are actually a devil fruit capable user. Ikaram said in shock. Lin Mo withdrew his empty hand, slightly raised his head to look at Huo Si, who was suspended in midair. It seems that this guy has already eaten the burning fruit. Ha ha ha, I didn't expect that. Huo's laughed loudly, I have already eaten that devil fruit, although I just got the ability. Now you, even if you want to kill me, you can't do it, your attack will only come from me. It's not that easy to kill me if you pass through the elementalized body. This is terrible. Ikaram sweated profusely on his forehead. Bell's face is also not good. It happens to be a devil fruit with natural fire ability. It is really not easy to deal with him. Maybe Lin Mo and I can work together to subdue him. Lin Mo, do you want to cooperate? Lin Mo ignored Bell at all, stepping on the moon steps directly to Huo's. Haas didn't run away directly, but laughed proudly. Boy, your potential is very good. How about it? Do you want to consider joining forces with me to conquer the world? That's a lot of nonsense. Lin Mo said bluntly, since you framed me, you are already dead. After finishing speaking, Lin Mo combined Yubu and Shunpo, and flashed in front of Haas. When he couldn't dodge, he wrapped the 6th level armed color around his hands, and grabbed Haas' neck. There are 3 types of devil fruits: nature, Superman, and animal. Among them, the natural fruit is recognized as the strongest of the 3 devil fruits. The biggest feature of the natural fruit is that it can make one's body elemental and make physical attacks invalid. Burnt fruit is one of the natural fruits. Although the natural fruit ability user has no entity after elementalizing the body, it seems difficult to deal with. However, there are many ways to restrain it. Using armed colors is one of the methods that can touch the fruit of nature and entities. Hoth's upper body is not elemental, and he is too blindly confident in his own strength. It was convenient for Lin Mo to grasp the throat of his fate more easily. Moreover, looking at the state of Haas, it seems that he doesn't know that the armed color can catch the elemental entity, or this guy may not even know what the armed color is. How is this possible? Huo widened his eyes, wanting to turn himself into an element and escape, but found that all parts of his body could be turned into fire, except for the part where Lin Mo was pinching his neck. Method elementalization. Haas stared at Lin Mo's unwavering eyes, and immediately attacked Lin Mo with his cremated hands and feet, trying to force Lin Mo back with fire. As long as Lin Mo let go, because he just ate the burning fruit, he is not proficient in mastering the fruit ability, and he has seen Lin Mo's strength just now, and he is a little self-aware, and he doesn't think that he can kill Lin Mo now. The moment Haas launched a self-defense attack, Lin Mo slammed the hand that was holding Haas' throat under the blessing of armed color. Just listen to the sound of bone breaking with a snap. Haas didn't even have time to scream. He rolled his eyes, went into shock for an instant, and the flames burning all over his body gradually went out. In order to prevent Haas's neck from being twisted instantly and blood on his hands, Lin Mo deliberately controlled his strength and just crushed his throat bone. A loose hand. Haas, who was limp all over, fell from midair. Bell and Ikaram both had incredible shock on their faces. It wasn't until Haas fell to the ground that Bell reacted first. He felt embarrassed when he thought that he wanted to join hands with Lin Mo to deal with this guy just now. Ikaram came back to his senses belatedly, and immediately ran in the direction of Haas, felt for his pulse, which was weak 1 second before, and disappeared in the next second. Huh. Dead. Lin Mo jumped down from midair and landed safely on the sand. Next, he plans to go to a farther place to continue hunting and exercise, and then bring some edible sand beasts back to Albana to exchange for some money. There is not much money left from the money earned from Rog Town. Seeing that Lin Mo was leaving for the desert away from Albana, Ikaram asked quickly, Lin Mo, where are you going? Are you going back to Albana? Lin Mo ignored him and continued walking. Hey, this kid, Ikaram said with a headache. He still looks like he doesn't want to talk to anyone. Bell came to Ikaram's side and patted him on the shoulder. Let him go, at least now we can be sure that Lin Mo has nothing to do with the murderer. Let's take the murderer's body back first. Ikaram nodded. It was near noon when Lin Mo dragged half the corpse of a giant lizard back to Albana. It was the same kind of paired lizards that Lin Mo encountered when he first entered Alabasta. Because of its huge size, fangs and claws, and its ferocious temperament, this lizard occupies a place at the top of the Alabasta desert food chain, and is a creature that Alabasta people are more afraid of. Therefore, when Lin Mo came back dragging half a giant lizard's corpse, it naturally attracted the attention of many people in Alba. Is that the Santadora lizard? Oh my god, even though it's only half a lizard, it's still so big. Who is that kid? He can actually drag such a big lizard. Look. The incision of this lizard is so smooth. How big a knife would it take to cut it like this? Could it be this child who cut it? Don't make trouble. Can he beat the Santora lizard as a child? Someone must have killed it, and then the child picked up half of it. Oh, it makes sense. Ah, that's great. this kid is really lucky, just this half of a big lizard, if you sell it, you can sell it for a good price. Lin Mo ignored the surrounding voices indifferently, dragged the half-lizard to a large meat trading center in Albana, and sold the half-lizard for Baileys. Leaving the trading center, Lin Mo was going to find a place to have lunch. When he passed a fruit shop, the owner of the fruit shop suddenly exclaimed, "Huh! What is this? I don't remember buying such a strange fruit. What?" Lin Mo glanced into the fruit shop inadvertently, and saw that the owner of the fruit shop was holding a big orange fruit with a spiral upward pattern in his hand. Ah, burning fruit. Lin Mo is absolutely sure that what the fruit boss is holding now is the burning fruit. The ability of devil fruit will not be repeated. When the original fruit owner dies, most of the fruits will be reborn and transferred to nearby fruits. It seems that Hoth is really dead. Oops, this thing looks so strange, could it be poisonous? The owner of the fruit shop had never seen a devil fruit, so he didn't know the value of this fruit. Suddenly noticed the sight of the door. The owner of the fruit shop looked back, and his eyes met Lin Mo's. At noon, there are usually few people who come to buy fruit, so there is only the boss in the store. Seeing that Lin Mo was staring at the fruit in his hand, the owner of the fruit shop immediately put the fruit aside and asked with a smile, "Little friend, are you here to buy fruit? I just bought some fresh apples here. Jin, it's very cheap, do you want to buy some to try?" Lin Mo. Seeing that Lin Mo didn't speak, the owner of the fruit shop's eyes fell on the burning fruit again, and he couldn't help scratching his head and said, "It's really strange, I checked this box of apples in the morning and it was fine, but when I opened it again just now, there were so many. I bought a strange shaped fruit, and I don't know if it's poisonous." "Kid, you're not interested in this strange fruit, are you? If you want it, 10 Bailey will sell it to you, but I don't guarantee whether it's poisonous or not. It's best not to eat indiscriminately." Lin Mo. 10 Baileys. After being photographed by a kainu for 30 billion burning fruits, 10 Baileys sold it. If the owner of the fruit shop knew that it was a devil fruit worth over million, he would probably faint in the toilet. Without thinking too much, Lin Mo took out 10 Baileys and threw it to the fruit shop owner. Since people said that it would be sold at 10 Pele, there was no need for him to spend more money, he might as well save the money and buy more wine. Although Lin Mo didn't plan to eat any devil fruit, at least the value of the devil fruit is very high, so you can keep it as a reserve fund. The owner of the fruit shop naturally took the money and handed over the Xiao Xiao fruit to Lin Mo. Just as the burning fruit was in hand, a system notification sounded in Lin Mo's mind. "Didi, obtain the natural devil fruit burning fruit, sign in progress plus 20%, the current total progress is 90%, reward new skills, entry level fire extinction." Single quote. Immediately afterwards, information about the disappearance of the fire appeared in Lin Mo's mind. Great fire extinction is a kind of fire escape technique in Naruto that gathers chakra in the throat and spits out a huge fireball towards the ground. After landing, the flame will spread to form a sea of fire. Compared with Haolong Huajujutsu, Haolong Hujutsu is a ninjutsu with a huge attack range, while Haolong Hojujutsu pays more attention to power and accuracy, and both have their own advantages. I bought a devil fruit at the price of cabbage, and also completed a wave of sign in progress. This deal is quite a bargain. After thinking about it, Lin Mo still brought out some more Baileys, and bought a bunch of fruits from the fruit shop owner before leaving. After lunch, Lin Mo found the nearest tavern to drink as usual. He had just had 2 drinks when a crisp sound came from outside the tavern. "I found it, Lin Mo is here." Wei Wei ran into the tavern bouncing around. Ikaram and Vivi's father, Neferutali Cobra, who had long black hair in the middle, followed her into the tavern together. The drinkers in the tavern were shocked when they saw that the king and princess had come. Without saying a word, everyone immediately stood up and saluted Cobra and Wei Wei. Before they said anything, Cobra waved his hands and smiled at them. "It's okay, don't worry about us, just pretend I don't exist while you're drinking." As a king, Cobra believes that the country is the people, knows how to be considerate of others, and always considers the interests of the people in advance when he is in power, and he never puts on airs when he is outside, so he is very popular. Loved by the people. The drinkers looked at each other, then sat back and started whispering. "My God, why did the king and princess appear in this tavern together, what happened?" "I don't know, but seeing Princess Weiwei seems very happy, it shouldn't be a bad thing. Hey, look, Princess Weiwei is looking for the kid at the bar. Could it be that they are looking for that kid? Weiwei sat in the empty seat next to Lin Mo just like before, and stared at him with a smile. Lin Mo, Belle and Ikaram have told me about you, so I knew that you must be innocent. Yes, great, there is no misunderstanding now. Yeah, I was reckless before, Lin Mo, I'm here to apologize to you. As he spoke, Ikaram bowed slightly to Lin Mo. Cobra sat down on the other side of Lin Mo, and said with a smile, Boy, I heard that Weiwei invited you to the palace as a guest, are you willing to go? Lin Mo continued to drink and ignored them. Ha ha ha, Cobra said with a smile, sure enough, just like what Vivi said, you really don't like to deal with people. In short, you saved Vivi twice. This father has to thank you very much. I know everything about you. Since the death of your companion has become a fact, don't think about it anymore. People always have to look forward. How about it, you today just follow me back to the palace, how about I entertain you with a banquet for a few days? It's not that good, Lin Mo said speechlessly, also, I'm a solo traveler without any companions. What? Cobra was stunned, then looked at Vivi, Vivi, didn't you say his companion died? Weiwei said strangely. Yes, Lin Mo, don't you have a red-haired companion? Lin Mo didn't want to say it at first, but after thinking about it, he still said, that guy is not dead, he has gone to sea. Lin Mo just finished speaking. Vivi, Cobra, and Ikaram were shocked, their eyes widened, and their mouths were long. Lin Mo. The corner of Weiwei's mouth twitched slightly. So I made a mistake. Ha ha, it's okay, Vivi. Cobra smiled awkwardly, you're still young, it's normal to be wrong, Lin Mo won't mind, right? Lin Mo remained silent and continued drinking. He didn't mind, it had nothing to do with him anyway. If the redhead knew that he had been killed for a while, that guy would probably have to laugh. Ha ha ha, if you don't say anything, it's a default. Cobra laughed loudly, since you don't want to go to the palace to accept entertainment, then I won't force you, so, as long as it is within my ability, how about I promise to do something for you? Why does this sound so familiar? Lin Mo quickly remembered that Lei Li also said it when he was in Rog Town. In fact, he doesn't need favors from others at all. But if he refused directly, I'm afraid Cobra would think of other ways to repay his kindness. Without thinking too much, Lin Mo said, okay, it's enough to treat me to a drink. Cobra exclaimed, that's it. Lin Mo gave a calm, Cobra originally wanted to say something more, but after thinking about it, he decided to forget it. Okay, since you have said so, you can drink this wine as you like, as much as you can, just right, it's been a long time since I've had a good drink, let's go together. Then, Cobra greeted the tavern owner. Boss, bring all the best wine here. The tavern owner responded respectfully. Ikaram came to Cobra and whispered, Your Majesty, you still have a meeting this afternoon. What meeting is more important than drinking with the benefactor who saved my daughter twice? Cobra said dissatisfiedly, the meeting is postponed until tomorrow. Today I want to have a good drink. Hey, that's fine, Ikaram said helplessly. Soon, the tavern owner came over with a case of good wine. Lin Mo and Cobra started to drink loudly. This tavern has drinks, so the tavern owner also prepared a glass of milk for Weiwei. Lin Mo drank 3 bottles in a row, still blushing and out of breath. As for Cobra, his face turned red after drinking 2 bottles, and he became dizzy after drinking the 3rd bottle. Lin Mo, let me tell you, you are the most special child I have ever seen. Cobra said drunkenly, not only are you very strong, but you have also saved my daughter Weiwei many times for free, and you can drink a lot. It's so good, I'm a bit ashamed as an adult, Lin Mo ignored Cobra's words and continued drinking. At this time, in my mind, the system prompt sounded suddenly. Didi, gain the appreciation of Neferutali Cobra, sign in progress plus 10%. Single quote. Didi, the Alabasta check-in task is completed, congratulations to the host for obtaining the mastery level Wind Escape Unlimited Sand and Dust Breakthrough. Single quote. Hearing this, Lin Mo couldn't help tightening his hand holding the wine bottle. Without hesitation, he opened the attribute panel and looked at it, and Lin Mo's eyes couldn't help falling on the sign in location. The next stop is Sky Island. Sky Island, as the name suggests, is an island suspended above a height of 10,000 meters. In Lin Mo's memory, to go to the empty island, you have to catch up with the rising current. Upwelling currents or ocean currents that keep rising into the air due to high pressure. This is a kind of natural disaster caused by the flow of low-temperature seawater into a large cave on the sea floor, which is caused by the explosion of huge steam pressure due to geothermal heat. The eruption time of the rising current can last for 1 minute, and the frequency is 5 times a month. Killed. In short, it was not easy to go to the empty island. The one-person boat he was riding on alone could not resist the pressure of the rising current. Moreover, to move forward on the current column, it is not enough to have a good quality ship, but also a navigator with rich sailing experience. Even if the way of sailing is contrary to common sense, it is still sailing. If there is no navigator to control the ship, no matter how good the ship is, it is still easy to capsize and fall into the sea. Although Lin Mo has been sailing on the sea alone for several months, all he takes is a small single-person wooden boat, and there is a system navigation to guide him to the location of the sign in location, so it doesn't need to use too much navigation at all. Skill. But for Lin Mo, who doesn't know much about sailing skills, if he wants to go to the Sky Island, he must at least find a navigator who knows how to sail to accompany him, or take a boat with the wind that happens to go to the Sky Island. Think of this. Lin Mo picked up the wine bottle in his hand and took a sip. Forget it, the boat will be straight when it reaches the bridge, so let's take a step to see. Cobra, who was sitting on Lin Mo's left, had already opened the 4th bottle of wine and started drinking. Seeing that Cobra was a little drunk, Ikaram wanted to stop Cobra from continuing to drink. This is a tavern, and there are many citizens there. Cobra is the king after all. It is really inappropriate to get drunk in front of so many citizens. Your Majesty, don't drink anymore, you'll get drunk, Ikaram said anxiously. Cobra waved his hand and said, Lin Mo is not drunk, how could I be drunk? After all, I am an adult, can I drink less than a child? Leave me alone, before Lin Mo is not drunk, I will not be drunk. Drunk. Ha ha ha, Ikaram, just leave my father alone. Wei Wei said with a smile, father is rarely so happy, let him drink. However, your Majesty is the king of Alabasta after all. Ikaram said worriedly, if your Majesty gets drunk in the street, wouldn't it be too unseemly? Ikaram, it's true that my father is the king. Wei Wei continued, but before the king, he was still a father. My father said it just now, so everyone in the tavern should pretend that he didn't see him. If my father I came to this tavern as a king, so I don't think it's a problem for you to worry, but now, my father is just playing the role of an ordinary father to repay a person who has been kind to him. It doesn't matter. That's right, Vivi still understands me, Cobra said with a smile. Ikaram was stunned for a moment, and then smiled helplessly. Hey, that's right, you really deserve to be Princess Wei Wei. Wei Wei stared at Lin Mo with a smile, and asked excitedly, Lin Mo, you said you were a traveler, so you must have been to many places. Lin Mo, Wei Wei, you shouldn't be from Alabasta, so did you sail here from another island by yourself? It's amazing. If I were to sail alone, I would definitely not be able to. Lin Mo, Wei Wei, I really envy you. You are free and you can go wherever you want. If there is a chance, I also want to travel to many, many places. Princess Wei Wei, you mustn't do it, Ikaram said anxiously. You are only 7 years old, even if you want to travel, you have to wait until you grow up. Ikaram, if Wei Wei wants to travel, let her go. At worst, it will be the same as before. Why don't we follow along secretly? Your Majesty, this time is different, Ikaram said dumbfounded. What's different? Cobra asked with a flushed face, obviously drunk. Ikaram raised his hand to cover his forehead, and said helplessly, Princess Vivi just walked around Albana before, but now, Princess Vivi is talking about leaving Albana and Alabasta. Cobra sobered up a little. No, Wei Wei is still young, so she can't leave Alabasta. Wei Wei couldn't help sighing softly. I didn't say I was going out now. Lin Mo drank the last sip of the bottle of wine in his hand, and got up. I'm leaving. Wei Wei was stunned. Are you leaving? Where are you going? Are you leaving Alabasta? Lin Mo responded lightly, yes. But you've only been in Alba for a few days, can't you stay here for a few more days before leaving? Wei Wei asked sadly. Lin Mo shook his head and said, since I have chosen to be a traveler, I won't stay in the same place for too long. In fact, just because the task is completed, I want to leave. Wei Wei said aggrievedly, but I haven't thanked you enough for saving my life. Lin Mo directly took an unopened bottle of wine from the wine box next to him and shook it. It has already been reported. After finishing speaking, he took the bottle of wine and left the tavern. Wei Wei wanted to chase after her, but was stopped by Ikaram. Princess Wei Wei, you can't go. Why? I know I can't keep him, why can't I send him off? Wei Wei asked angrily. At this time, only hearing a bang, Cobra fell headlong on the bar and fell asleep. Ha, Your Majesty. Ikaram panicked, and Wei Wei immediately ran out. Ikaram wanted to chase after him, but seeing Cobra, who was drunk on the bar, hesitated for a while, then immediately picked up Cobra and chased him out again, but when he chased out of the tavern, there was no one there. The figures of Wei Wei and Lin Mo appeared. Lin Mo, let me send you off. By the way, do you need to prepare anything before you leave? I can accompany you to buy it. I know you are not very talkative, but I really appreciate your previous trip. Very curious. Wei Wei followed Lin Mo all the time. Lin Mo continued to walk forward without a word. In fact, he didn't think it was necessary to see him off. Although Wei Wei was really cute when she was a child. But he really didn't like this way of saying goodbye. Without thinking too much, Lin Mo immediately stepped on Shunbu and disappeared from Wei Wei's eyes in an instant. Wei Wei was shocked, and hurriedly looked for Lin Mo. Wei Wei searched almost all the streets, but still couldn't find Lin Mo. After Ikaram sent Cobra back to the palace, he immediately called Belle to find the missing Vivi, and finally found Vivi crying in a ruin outside Alabasta. Princess Wei Wei, are you okay? Ikaram asked anxiously. Wei Wei cried and hugged Ikaram's leg. Lin Mo, he left and disappeared in front of my face. I just wanted to send him off. Does he really hate me so much? Your Majesty, I think you must have misunderstood. Belle said, Lin Mo's character is like this. It can be seen from the fact that he can cross the desert and come to Alba by himself. He doesn't hate you, he just get used to being alone. But why didn't you let me send him off? Wei Wei asked sobbing. Ikaram thought for a while, and continued, parting is always sad, I think that kid Lin Mo doesn't want to make you too sad. Princess Wei Wei, it's better to let you watch him leave by boat. Just leave by yourself. Of course, this is just a reason Ikaram made up. Really, although the reason Ikaram gave was absurd, Vivi subconsciously believed it. Then will he come to Alabasta again in the future? Belle said with certainty, it will definitely. Wei Wei asked puzzledly, why is Belle so sure? Belle smiled and said, because I still owe him a drink, and he will definitely come back. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.